You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
At First Carolina Bank, we pride ourselves on building relationships and doing the day-to-day things in banking extremely well. Experience the First Carolina way for yourself or your business today. Visit firstcarolinabank.com. First Carolina Bank. Member FDIC.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Looking at partly cloudy skies for us this afternoon. Nice and warm, 73, a little breezy, but definitely a warm breeze. Overnight tonight, temperatures in the upper 40s will be partly cloudy. And a nice day tomorrow, partly cloudy, just a little cooler with highs in the mid-60s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones this afternoon is down 69 points to 46,021.
Screen from Evans. Feeds it to him on the left for three. Got it! He kicks it out to Bogavants. Open for three. Hey. Nothing but net. Boozer, the offensive rebound, goes back up. Counted! And he's fouled!
Doesn't have the numbers. The freshman going to go anyway! And holy smokes, he just sunk their battleship with that one.
Lobbed it up, and Gungba pushed it down with the right hand.
Into the hands of Wilson, who gets the dunk in transition and learned the foul as well.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. It is a hockey night in Carolina. Late night. 9:30 puck drop Eastern time. It's out there in Minnesota. We'll get you ready for it. But you can't hear it here on 99.9 The Fan eventually.
Radio only tonight.
Radio only. So if you want Mike and Tripp, it's got to be here on 99.9 The Fan or the 99.9 The Fan app. A couple of basketball games last night. We're moving towards the weekend for the NFL college football. So there's no time to waste. Let's start it with the big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Duke basketball, Madison Square Garden, beat number 24 in the country, Kansas, 78-66. I said yesterday, and I've been talking about it after every Duke game. I wasn't sure what the story of this Duke team was going to be. No disrespect, but every season for every college basketball, every college team of any kind is identifying the issue, trying to solve it, right? There's no perfect team. And this Duke team, as I said yesterday, before playing Kansas, was kind of blandly good. It was just, you weren't worried. I think I know what their story is. I think I know what their obstacle is. but I'm going to make you wait. 3:45, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think Duke's cross to bear, what their burden this season is, and if I think they can overcome it or not. Looking specifically at last night's game, without including the big picture and the storytelling that I just told you, there were some really exciting developments. First of all, Darren Peterson didn't play for Kansas. So, as I said yesterday, let some of the air out of the balloon, right? When you have two of the projected 3 top picks in the NBA draft, both freshmen scheduled to play each other, and one of them is unavailable, that's going to inherently make everybody kind of go, darn. But that doesn't matter. You still play the game, right? The good for Duke, the things that stood out for me, and I was typing myself notes while watching the game, as I do for most games. Isaiah Evans is as flamethrowery as ever. There was an inbounds play where he caught it in the corner, fading left, 3, drilled it, and this doesn't happen for every shooter. There's some very good shooters that when they shoot it, ball's in the air, you have to watch. As soon as it left his hands, it was from sitting on my couch, right? It's not like I was in the building feeling the energy. As soon as it was in the air, I was like, good. Drilled it back on defense.
That was late in the second half, too.
Yeah, I mean, he is a shahooter. Caden Boozer, I'm curious. Cameron Boozer, we know, right? There's things involved there that are just talent, hard work, whatever you want to call it. He's good. Caden Boozer made a few plays that I think his role is just going to continue to grow. His role is just going to continue to grow, and I think that's going to free up other guys to do other things. Caleb Foster can be more energy, less trying to get everybody involved. If you have a different guy playing the role of distributor, floor general type guy, I'm excited to see where that goes. I just listened to a podcast with Carlos Boozer. We got to keep identifying our boozers. Carlos Boozer, and he was asked about nicknames for his kids. And the first one they call something, he has an older son, they call him something, I forget what it was. Cam Boozer. He goes, Cam, we call him Cam. Caden, we call Bull because he's a bulldog. Or pit bull, whatever. A little smaller but angrier. And I'm like, okay, I want to see the pit bull. And we saw it a couple times yesterday. A few drives, he was like, I'm getting to the bucket, and I'm curious. But in the interest of not just, as the kids say, glazing Duke too hard, about 3:45, I'm going to tell you what I think they have to overcome. 3:45, the story of their season will be, can they overcome blank? That's number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
UNC beat Navy yesterday. Hosted Navy, beat Navy. That's not really the story of the game. And by the way, Caleb Wilson, still a beast. Jaren Stevenson, hustle, love it. Luka Bogovic scored a bunch. So there's like tangible good things. This isn't me talking now. This is the players on UNC talking. The way they ended that game wasn't good enough. They were ahead by 20-something in the second half. Kind of ho-hum, right? If you're watching the game at that point, you're probably scrolling on your phone or something, right? They're up 20-something over Navy. The good guys are playing well, right? The talented guys are showing talent, and it's like, all right, there it is. And then suddenly Navy went on like a 15-zippy run. Closed the lead down. You end up winning by 12. It's not like it was in doubt, but you don't like that. And players took a long time to get to media. Turns out, players-only meeting. November 19th. We're in players-only meeting season already. I don't know if I've seen a players-only meeting that early in a college basketball season. Is that good or bad? We're going to have to discuss because it's like the earliest ownership from a team, right? Taking ownership of it. It's also, you needed a players-only meeting that early? I tend to lean towards good, but we'll see, right? Only time will tell. I don't
nip it in the bud early, though.
Yeah, either that or I don't know how many times you can go to it, right? Like if it's almost like that's the metaphorical nuclear option, right? There's not many things you can do as a team beyond the players-only meeting to kickstart your team. I don't think after every game you can, dramatically call the players in and kick the coaches out and be honest with each other. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a nice little tweak. Interesting bit for the UNC basketball team. At 3:15, we'll talk more about what that may represent and also get into more of the basketball for UNC and the guys that played well, the guys that played didn't, and everything else. That's number 2. How about we head to number 3?
Number 3.
Carolina Hurricanes tonight. We mentioned it, late night on the East Coast. 9:30 puck drop because they're on the road in Minnesota. Now, yesterday, during the show, we did learn that injured, he's been out for the last few games with an upper body injury. Jalen Chatfield was skating with the team yesterday in practice. It upped my excitement on the possibility of him playing today. Rod Brindamore, head coach, updated the media earlier today. This was from today, that we will not, in fact, get Chatfield tonight, but he added some context.
Again, I was hopeful. You just, these injuries are, you don't know. And everybody's, we're very, very cautious, which is the right thing in today's day and age. It's different than when I was playing. We didn't know any better. So I think always err on the caution side. And so, yeah, he won't be playing tonight.
So he's not playing. The good news is you have some guys that have stepped up, right? You have some guys that have stepped up, and there's still plenty of season left. You'll hear me say this a few times throughout the show, just because I think it's important to point out. The Canes are atop the Eastern Conference right now. They're 13-5-1, tied with the Devils, but they beat the Devils in the opener. So there you go. Right, with everything we've talked about, all the obstacles that they've had to overcome, they're tied atop the East, which gives you the chance. And by the way, like with Chatfield, the nature of his injury, with it being the hit to the head and everything, you want to be cautious no matter what.
For sure.
But now in all senses, right? If your guys are hurt, you've been battling injuries, and you're 13-5-1 and atop the East, you can take an extra day. Make sure you get back to 100%, right? Even if it's a soft tissue injury, like a different somebody else is dealing with something, take the day. You can be a bit more conservative there because it's not hurting you, which is exciting. The other thing is, this is the dog days of a long road trip. You're out there in Minnesota. You still got Winnipeg. You're in Boston 2 nights ago. Every other day, it's about as difficult of a 4-game stretch as far as exhausting your mentals as you can have without having any back-to-backs, right? 4 road trips every other day, different city, some solid teams, right? You're not playing pushovers. So it's a good little test. I don't know why I said little. It's a good test for the Carolina Hurricanes this stretch.
It is funny how they go from Boston to Minnesota to Winnipeg just to fly back to Buffalo for a 1 o'clock Sunday game.
Well, they just want miles.
Yeah, I guess.
It's all about getting that Diamond Elite status on the airlines, which they probably have, ever since the State Fair road trip. But I like, outside of injuries, I hate injuries, never want to see them. I like stressing the Carolina Hurricanes, right? I like when they have to play good game, or they play Edmonton on the second half of a back-to-back like we just saw, right? I like putting them in stressful situations because I think that's the best way to get ready for the postseason. And if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The season will be judged by how they play in the postseason. So I want them uncomfortable. I want them distracted. I want them dealing with things, and I want them to have to play good hockey anyway because that's what happens in the postseason. Part of the reason I'm so excited that somebody like Nystrom, a rookie, is playing so well on the blue line during the time that he's called up to fill in for injuries is because of what happened in the postseason last year. Remember, a couple guys get hurt on the blue line, and suddenly we're picking between Scott Morrow, who had at least a game or two where you would have liked to not have him in the lineup, and then Nikishin, who flew into the continent like a day before, and you're kind of picking the lesser of two evils as far as which rookie do you want to expose. This year, Nystrom, there's no hesitation, right? Throw him in there. He's playing really well. Like I want to keep putting them in uncomfortable situations as long as they keep passing those tests, which they're at the top of the East, so it's hard to say they're doing anything but passing. You can talk about, A+, A-, B+, whatever, but it's definitely passing. And that game's tonight, 9:30. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan, as well as the 99.9 The Fan app. As Dennis said, it is a radio-only broadcast, so if you want Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy to break down the action for you, you have to listen in to 99.9 The Fan or the aforementioned application on your phone. Download it now, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you give us the 5-star rating. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. UNC beat Navy. They're undefeated on the basketball court, the men's basketball team. 18th in the country, won by double digits. So who and why called the players-only meeting after the game? Stick around.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Rebound chased down by Wilson. Doesn't have the numbers. The freshman going to go anyway. And holy smokes, he just sunk their battleship with that one.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Earlier than I expected to be here, but we have a college basketball players-only meeting. UNC, Tar Heels, 5-0 on the year, climbing in the rankings. They're up to 18 and moving up. Beat Navy last night at home, 73-61. So why was there a players only? They won. They won by double digits. Why were the players late getting to the media after the game with the coaches not a part of the meeting? Why'd they go players only meeting? Well, there's some interest there. First of all, you just look kind of tangibly at it. They had a 20-plus point lead second half. Had sloppy play, right? It kind of as happens with college teams sometimes. You get a nice, comfortable, maybe feeling insurmountable lead. You take a hint of focus away and, communication errors, whatever you want to call them, leads to a 15-0 Navy run. Navy scored 15 unanswered, which I think is the dumbest saying in sports because as long as UNC scored a point after that, they were answered at some point.
That's why you say straight.
Yeah, consecutive. They scored 15 consecutive points. About over the last 4 minutes, it ended up being, I think it was 17-3 is how it ended up. That's not good. Navy, while, again, thank you for your service, honorable, as basketball players, we're not in the same talent spectrum. They weren't in the same tier, maybe not the same few tiers of UNC. They should never score 15 consecutive points against UNC. So then, after they're late to the media, we learn that it is a players-only meeting. Jaron Stevenson, one of the new transfers, player came from Alabama, told the media that Seth Trimble called the meeting, which is interesting because Seth Trimble is hurt. He is not playing. He is the fourth-year Tar Heel, right? Senior, has been with Carolina his entire season, his entire career. And Jaron Stevenson said he called the meeting. Before I get into the significance of that particular bit of news, Hubert Davis, head coach, talked after the game about the team calling a players-only meeting.
Well, I mean, that's great that they're, communicating and talking amongst themselves. And you're right, I think we had a 24-point lead. We went on a 15-0 run, and then down the stretch 17-3. And so was disappointed in how we finished the game. I felt like just the sustained energy in the first half wasn't there, but I thought we picked it up in the second half and we were playing well, and just unfortunate that we didn't finish the game better than the way that we did.
There's Hubert Davis's thoughts. Now, here are mine. This situation is the good and the bad of Seth Trimble being out with an injury. I've talked about Seth Trimble being the palm down guy, right? The guy that grabs the basketball when things are getting a little chaotic, when things start getting away from you, grabs the basketball, puts his palm towards the floor, and just goes, hey, everybody calm down, right? Every basketball team needs one. I thought he was going to be that guy. With him hurt, he can't play that role. If Seth Trimble's on the court, that 15-0 run might have been a 5-0 run, followed by Seth Trimble locking everybody in, getting a bucket, right, but going to the go-to, whatever it is, probably Caleb Wilson of some kind of action, and they get the bucket, then a 15-0 run becomes a 5-2 run, then Trimble locks down on defense, and oh, look at that. Game ends, you're up 25. We never have to get here. But he's not playing. So he has to wait till after the game maybe to pass along some of those notes and some of that intensity that he felt they were lacking at the end of the game. Now, the good would be is if through situations like this, they get to the point where on the court they might not need Seth Trimble to do that because they can all get themselves out of that funk. And then when Seth comes back, he can focus on him or he can focus on something else and they can all move forward. The other thing that I thought was interesting is how early in the season it is. And my first thought was what I said earlier. My first thought was, ooh, you better fix everything now because you can't go to the players-only meeting over and over and over again, right? It's one of those things that loses its luster over time if players are just like, all right, another one of these. Right? It can become as numb or you can become as blind to it as you would, any other team meeting. Right? Coaches bring in other voices. They'll have former players talk. They'll have guest speakers come in. They'll turn a practice over or a particular conversation over to an assistant coach just to give you different voices because coaches understand that if I'm saying the same things in the same voice from the same person, the same guy with the whistle every single day, it can become white noise. It can become just background noise. The players-only meeting is always one that cuts through the shuffle, right? You can't go to it all the time or else it becomes the shuffle. But then I thought of this, and I'll use a personal story, and I shout out to Charles. I usually tell these stories and just say like one of our old heads, but I just learned this guy, he lives in the area. He runs the Gardner Road, he's the club director for Gardner Road Basketball Club. He's one of my old teammates, University of Delaware. He was a senior captain when I was a freshman. And that year, his senior year, sorry, Charles, didn't go the way we wanted. Right? Didn't win enough games. This is at the University of Delaware football. Late in the season, there was a players-only meeting. And there were some honest takes from guys like Charles, right? I think he might have even been an All-American that year. Like he stood up and he let us know how we weren't living up to Delaware standards and a few other guys said some things. I was a walk-on freshman. I said absolutely nothing and just, tried to look serious the entire meeting. The year after that, we went to the national championship game. I'm not saying it's because of that meeting, but there was an impact there. The next year we played for and lost, don't want to talk about it, the national championship. And you can't do that this time in college sports. You can't have the players-only meeting at the end of a season that sparks the next season because the teams are so different. Right? If they would have had a players-only meeting at the end of last year, If R.J. Davis called the players-only meeting, right before the NCAA tournament and let them know how the fact that they were on the bubble was unacceptable and this isn't Carolina basketball and all of these things, Trimble would be the only one that learned the lesson. He'd be sitting here going like, all right, remember what R.J. Oh, you weren't here, Luka. You weren't here, Caleb. You weren't here, Henry. You weren't here, Jaron. You weren't here, Kyan. It wouldn't work. So jumping to it 5 games into the year might be the only way to see the effects this year, right? You can't wait till a 15-0 run to Navy actually becomes a 12-0 run to Clemson. That costs you a game and keeps you out of certain goals. You can't wait till that happens. So overall, I kind of like the move. My first reaction was surprise, but I kind of like the move. You hear stories, and mine was just, obviously I know my story is better, but you hear stories across college sports all the time of the upperclassmen have to teach the youngsters the culture and the standard of the program. Well, you can't take years to do that anymore. It's got all right, the first month of the season, we're learning standards. From that point on, you're following standards. That's how it has to be. So they're in fast forward. Might be the way to describe it.
Yeah, you don't have – it's very rare where you have fourth-year guy, senior, that teaches the freshman who carries it on. When he's fourth-year player, teaches the next freshman. It's just – you don't see that anymore.
If you have one guy like Seth Trimble that has been there the whole time and can give you this is what Armando Bacot used to tell me stories, he better get him out. You better say him quick, right? better make him known in the first couple of weeks of the season, which, hopefully this pays dividends. Overall, basketball-wise, I'm getting more and more confident in their front court. Right? Caleb Wilson, Vesar, who we've talked about, I don't know if there's a better combo of big men in the country. Caleb Wilson, the dunk highlight, goodness gracious. Just the thought to try that, let alone pull off the dunk. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to try to describe it. It's a move, and then he dunked on 2 guys, and I'm not doing it justice.
Just look up Caleb Wilson dunk.
It'll pop up in multiple places.
Yeah. And
then that front court is I'm impressed by Jaren Stevenson's effort. I'm impressed by Evans didn't have his best game last night, but there's room for improvement on the backcourt. It can come. And Seth Trimble will be back at some point, hopefully. I'm excited about the talent on the team. If they're trying to put it together off the court, I'm excited by that as well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up, and I think there's a couple doozies in there. But before we get to the Dean's List, Dennis Cox has something for you.
Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know you've heard me talk about this plenty of times before, but I can't stress enough how effective the program has been for me. I've lost 42 pounds in 3.5 months, 42 pounds. And the thing is, I'm not just have I lost the weight, but I'm also maintaining the weight as well that I've lost. I've kept the weight off. That's the thing. So many of these diets and stuff that you see nowadays, they call them yo-yo. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. Raleigh Weight Loss, you go down, you keep it there. You stay steady with it. And here's actually something that Raleigh Weight Loss Center is actually offering you all that you should take a look into right now. Believe it or not, in 6 weeks is New Year's Eve. 6 weeks from now, a lot of people want to have that weight loss journey for the new year. Well, why wait? Go ahead and get started on it right now. Give Raleigh Weight Loss Center a call at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Raleigh Weight Loss Center is having a huge 20% off Lose It holiday sale that starts this coming Monday, the 24th, that runs all the way through Black Friday, November 28th. It's their lowest prices of the year on the amazing weight loss program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. They know the secret of losing 1 pound of fat every day with no exercise, no prepackaged meals, no counting calories, no points, no drugs, no surgery, no injections with the risk of any of those serious side effects. Just start losing that unwanted weight before or even after the holidays. No more weight gaining and up and down. This program resets your metabolism so that way you can keep the weight off for good. Schedule your free 15-minute phone call again. 919-897-7506 is the number to call, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and tell them the promo code LOSE IT It's a free 15-minute phone call, but tell them the promo code LOSEIT for your discount. Again, 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up next. You don't want to miss it.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
The McRib season gets even more magical when you pair it with any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.49. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Price and participation may vary.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Fox & Bailey Watch Shop. This Christmas, give a gift that stands the test of time. At Fox & Bailey, we offer an exquisite collection of the finest timepieces and distinct gifts. Perfect for that special someone on your list. Whether it's a sleek and modern design or a timeless classic, our expert team will help you find the perfect watch to fit any style. Because at Fox & Bailey, we know a watch is more than just a gift. It's a lasting memory. We proudly carry some of the world's most distinguished watch brands, including Omega, Blancpain, Glashütte Original, Tissot, Nomos, Hamilton, and Norqain. Not to mention that we have the largest collection of certified pre-owned and vintage Rolex watches in North Carolina. Make this holiday unforgettable with a watch or a unique gift from Fox & Bailey, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location in Raleigh.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
10 seconds now. Looks to the right, a screen from Evans. Feeds it to him on the left for three. Got it! Isaiah Evans showing off in the Garden.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're cruising. Conserve your energy a bit. Canes start at 9:30 tonight, so, might need a little bit extra energy later in the night. So, maybe don't go for the run you normally do at about 3:30. Instead,
squeeze a little nap in.
Yeah, a little nap, a little caffeine maybe, depending on how you get through late nights.
Why not both?
Hey, why not both?
Why not both?
Either way, it's 9:30, puck drop for the Canes in Minnesota. They'll be playing right here. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. We encourage you to listen in. Radio-only broadcast. With that being said, right now it is time for the Dean's List. Dean's List is where we give a little extra love, a little extra accolades, a little extra praise to those that deserve it in the college sports world. I'm going to start with this. NC State and Virginia. Dean's List. Corey Smith, Pack Pride, had it first yesterday. I'll just read his tweet. NC State and Virginia are set to play a game in Brazil in 2026, according to Pack Pride sources. This is football. It will count as an ACC contest with the two teams playing the first ever game in Brazil and the first international game for both teams. If you listen to this show, you know I love this kind of stuff. You know I love appointment games that players will remember specifically years into the future, right? They'll be playing the good old days game with their teammates. Hey, you remember when? Way into the future, and they'll remember the Brazil game. I've seen a lot of complaining that it's, you're taking away a home game from Virginia and those players only get so many. Listen, with the transfer portal, they'll get a variety of home games at different schools. It's Brazil for a football game. It's an experience. Give your players the experience and stand out in a crowd. Like if you're into that sort of thing, recruiting, you're the only team that's going to say, hey, you come here next year, you play in Brazil. Anything that makes you stand out. I also, from a business standpoint, right, I don't think you can go wrong copying the NFL. They know how to print money. And I don't know if they do everything right, but they make money. So if the NFL is going to Brazil, and they're going to Spain, and they're going to Germany, and they're going to London, on a smaller scale, you might want to try a few of those things. There's a reason why business guest speakers are so important. I'm the CEO of a company that's not in your industry, but I make money, so listen to what I have to say. The NFL's like, I'm pretty good and I'm pretty much in your industry. Here's what I do. Maybe you should do it.
I just wonder what the demand is for college football in some of these locations in terms of a local fan base. Unless people just want to see American football.
It's either that or fans in America are going to say, you mean I get to take a Brazilian vacation and see my favorite college football team? Let's make it an 8-day trip. And then you fill the stadium with people from up north down in Brazil. Either way, it's an interesting decision. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a business spending or a business money-making endeavor. They may have, maybe they're forking over for a cool experience. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you are.
But you probably, I think the idea is you get it back in brand awareness and stuff like that. Dean's List. Do you have any other Dean's List members you'd like to throw on there?
I actually do. I actually have NC State baseball.
Let's hear it.
Mike Caldwell, Dan Plesac, Carlos Rodon, and Trey Turner all going to be inducted into the NC State Baseball Ring of Honor.
Oh, wow.
So I saw this popped up, which I know Trey Turner, Carlos Rodon, obviously big in the major leagues right now, but those guys all getting inducted into the Baseball Ring of Honor.
Speaking of old guys doing the old Glory Days game, you're getting inducted. You're probably getting all your buddies back together. Hey, remember that game against that team that we won in the bottom of the 13th? Remember that one? I hit it a quarter mile.
I mean, Trey Turner gets to show off a World Series ring.
And a lot of other stuff.
And a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, a lot of that, too.
A whole bunch of it. More Dean's List. How about Mark Harlan, Utah Athletics Director?
Okay.
He's on the College Football Playoff Rankings Committee. Mm-hmm. Utah is 12th in the CFP rankings that came out last night.
Okay.
Horrendous non-conference schedule. They played UCLA, Cal Poly, and Wyoming. Wins, but who cares? They got stomped by Texas Tech. Lost to BYU. Their best win, their only win over a team currently ranked is Arizona State, and that's when Arizona State didn't have their quarterback. He was hurt. Mm-hmm. Yet they're 12th. I don't want to fault Mark Harlan, right? If I'm a Utah athletics director and I'm on the committee and I'm gonna look out for my people. The problem is that they let him be on the committee, right?
I thought we banned the committee.
But he is on it because the committee is so corrupt that he's taking advantage of it.
All right.
It's the if they're gonna put a fox inside the hen house and say this is where you stay, he's eating chicken. He's gonna be eating chicken. It is awful what the committee is doing. We'll have more on that later. Other Dean's Listers. How about Justin Poirier?
Canes prospect.
University of Maine freshman winger on the ice. He is 4th in the country in college hockey in goals with 10.
Nice.
No other freshman is in the top 11. Canes 5th-round pick, as you mentioned, in 2024. So unsigned, obviously. But, hey, keep building that value, right? Keep scoring goals. especially because, and I was thinking about this the other day, you brought up how the Canes do have maybe the premier picks, but this year they don't have a ton of picks in the NHL draft. One way to get like second-round value is to have one of your fourth-rounders from a couple years ago start building their profile to that of a second-rounder, right? It's kind of like hidden value. So Justin Poirier gets a little love. And lastly on the Dean's List, Michigan State basketball. This is where the Blue Bloods that we're fans of, that we support, that we cover, get to laugh at another Blue Blood. Michigan State beat Kentucky last night. Kind of smoked Kentucky last night. Kentucky is now 3-2 on the year, with losses to Louisville, go ACC, and Michigan State. You ready for this? According to the Herald Leader, Kentucky's NIL payroll for this year's roster, $22 million.
What?
On3, who does, I would say, the most comprehensive coverage and reporting on NIL and all of those contracts and rev share for players across college sports, On3 says that Kentucky's payroll likely the highest in basketball, the highest in college basketball. Kentucky has paid, according to On3, likely more money to their roster than anyone in college basketball. And they've had some pretty gigantic flaws in their roster exposed through the first 5 games.
$22 million for the roster?
According to the Herald Leader newspaper.
Yes.
$22 million. They're 3-2. With a loss to their rival Louisville already. And now Michigan State beat them by like pretty handily. The game was
83-66.
You weren't watching the game going, I wonder which of these two teams is good. You're watching this team going, the one wearing green's better than the one wearing blue. $22 million.
That's insane.
Now, if that were a team that we covered, it would be mighty embarrassing. But instead, it's Kentucky. So way to go, Michigan State. Way to go.
Well done.
How about it?
Let's go.
I mean, like that's people in the business world, right? I don't even like, although sports is big business now. In the business world, if somebody gives you $22 million to complete a task and you do it poorly from the jump, that's going to affect job status, job security. It's going to affect how much money you get in the future. It's not a good business plan. We give you $22 million, we expect wins is probably a fair, give and take of services and currency. So good luck, Kentucky. We'll be watching. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List.
$22 million?
$22 million.
That's insane.
To lose 2 of their first 5. And the games they won are not anything to write. Like, it'd be one thing if they, had their first 5 games were all top 10 teams in the country and they won 3 and lost 2. No, like they won the games that they would have been difficult to lose. And then the 2 bigger names they lost to.
Yeah, you beat Nichols, Valparaiso, and Eastern Illinois. You lost to Louisville and Michigan State.
No disrespect to Nichols, but $22 million. Yeah.
Should beat Nichols.
So they should beat probably Michigan State, too, for $22 million. Either Louisville or Michigan State, at least, if not both, for $22 million. Yeah. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of Blue Bloods, Duke, Kansas basketball last night in Madison Square Garden. What did we learn about Duke in their win? Stick around.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special and go. It's Bow time.
You've seen the postings all over that neighborhood app. People's packages are going missing from their porches this holiday season, but not yours because you have a home security system from SoundStation and Security. From doorbell cameras to whole home security systems, SoundStation and Security has the largest inventory on the East Coast. And if you're looking for a gift this holiday season but don't really know what to get, we sell gift certificates too. SoundStation and Security with 2 locations in downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Dr. Lori Travers and Travers LASIK. I had the surgery more than a dozen years ago. One of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. And if you are a first responder, Travers LASIK would like to honor your service with a thank you. They are proudly honoring first responders with an exclusive deal for police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. Go to traverslasik.com or call 919-510-6830. See what you've been missing. Travers LASIK.
99.9 The Fan is partnering with the Salvation Army of Wake County for Team Up to Give.
We cheer together, we celebrate together.
And when our neighbors are struggling, we step up together.
Across Wake County, more of our neighbors continue to face nights without a safe place to sleep.
Your gift could be the one that turns the tide for a family in crisis.
So team up with us. Together we can make sure no one is forgotten. Team up, give hope, change lives.
Text GIVE to 919-860-5326 or go to teamuptogive.com to donate.
Cross court, wide open Sarr. In the left corner, Canada 3. Boozer, the offensive rebound, goes back up. Count it! And he's fouled! Showing off the power inside. And he's got a free throw coming as well.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Duke beat Kansas last night. Kansas is gonna, they're gonna fall out of the rankings with the loss, and it's I don't know if it's completely fair to them because they're just playing all the teams in the Triangle. They lost to UNC, they lost to Duke. I believe they're playing NC State in the not super distant future. It's like it's kind of tough because all 3 of them probably would have like a top 15 win if they didn't play all 3 of them. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like they're kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, taking a big win away from them.
Now, granted, Kansas did not play with their best player last night.
Darren Peterson, he did play against UNC, did not play against Duke, which is huge. I mean, he is as advertised according to all the NBA talent evaluators. We'll get more into that game in a second, but first I want to tell all of you to text keyword WOOD, WOOD, to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Roy Wood Jr. at Carolina Theater on November 29th. That's keyword WOOD, WOOD, to 919-860-5326 for the comedy stylings of Roy Wood Jr. at Carolina Theater on November 29th. Now that you know that, let's talk more about this Duke-Kansas game. I've been searching, and granted, it's still very early in the season, so it's not like it's been 40 days and 40 nights of searching. But I've been looking for what Duke's thing is going to be this year, right? Every basketball team, every football, every college team, heck, most professional teams, there's only a handful of, seemingly flawless teams in the history of sports. They have something. Right, the best way I can describe it is using the analogy from the movie Draft Day, starring Kevin Costner, where he's talking about evaluating quarterback prospects, and he starts listing all these like big flaws about legendary NFL quarterback prospects throughout the years, I should say. John Elway threw it too hard. He had no touch, broke his wide receiver's fingers, but in the end, it didn't matter. Peyton Manning didn't have a strong enough arm. He didn't throw a great spiral, but in the end, it just didn't matter. So his argument is when you're looking at a prospect, a quarterback prospect in the draft, you have to figure out what their flaw is and then figure out if it matters or not. And I kind of treat teams the same way, right? In the early part where you're just playing, for the most part, overmatched non-conference games, well, what's the thing that is your flaw, and does it matter? Can you overcome it? And I couldn't figure it out for Duke, right? They were just blandly kind of across the board good in most of their games. Even the opener against Texas, right? They didn't start fast, but a freshman starting slow in their first career game against Texas. I'm not like, there it is, that's the thing to overcome. No, by the second half they were rolling and they beat them by double digits. Before I tell you what I think they exposed as their obstacle to overcome, John Shire after the game shared his thoughts on the win over Kansas.
Really proud of our win tonight. I thought, that there's the epitome of our team a little bit. The fact that all 9 guys scored, but all 9 guys made big contributions. A ton of respect for Kansas, their program, Coach Self. We knew, unfortunately, obviously Peterson being out changes their team, of course. But you also know that those other guys are going to step up. And I thought the game that White had, Council, that's what we thought. They put a ton of pressure on us.
Acknowledging that Peterson wasn't there is a big part of the game, as Dennis brought up. Here's what I think it is. Doesn't matter if they don't have a 7-footer. And I know Gongba's listed at 6'11", but for whatever reason, when I'm watching the game, when I'm trying to pay attention to what Duke is doing well and is not doing well, he doesn't play or stand out in the same ways that we've seen 7-footers stand out for Duke in the past. In order of year, over the last 4 or 5 years, they had Kaman Malawash last year, 7'2", springy athlete, long arms. The year before that, Kyle Filipowski was their only listed 7-footer, and I think that was part of what they had to overcome. They didn't have a true dude.
No, they didn't. He was more of a stretch 4.
Which I think part of it played into Derek Lively the year before being so good that he could be a lottery pick after his freshman year. If he would have stuck around, I think that team would have been really good.
Oh, yeah.
So then Derek Lively the previous year, obviously, 7-footer, rim runner, rim protector. You see it with the Mavericks now. 2 years prior to that, Mark Williams, right? They had these vertical style big guys, right? Patrick Ngongba, I'm having a really hard time explaining it. He is big, right? He's 6'11". He's very good offensively. He's more of like a horizontal big than a vertical big, right? It's wingspan, it's wide. He is very strong, but I don't see him matching guys, at the top of the square, right? I don't see him matching guys with rim protection. And really, I mean, against Indiana State, he had 4 blocks this year. Other than that, I think he might have 1 on the season, yet he's been in foul trouble multiple times. So maybe you don't even want him protecting the rim aggressively because he's very valuable in other ways, and you don't want him to get in foul trouble. This all started. I'll tell you where this whole thing came from. Cam Boozer is big, okay? Cam Boozer is tall. Cam Boozer is strong. He's built. He looks like he's like heavy. He's dense, might be the way to describe it. He was working around the bucket against Kansas a lot. And it was good. It was hard work. He was throwing, feints and dekes and dream shakes and all the skill that we hear about from Cam Boozer. But he had his shots altered a lot. He had hands that were getting, if not blocking shots, pretty darn close. 2 of his points came on a goaltend. Now hey, if they're going to goaltend, give you the points, go ahead. But when you have one of your dudes who's one of your bigger guys operating down low, I don't want him getting his points because, good thing the thing hit the backboard before they blocked it. They aren't, they just, I think that's what it's going to end up being. And by the way, there might be, 7 teams in the country that it's even going to matter against. Because you have to have springy, athletic, vertical bigs on the other side. Now, there are ways to deal with this, as we've seen in basketball, especially the last 15 years. There are ways to deal with this without even thinking you got to get better size or play bigger down low. You can get small and go run and gun. I just don't see that as Duke's deal. I don't see them, taking big guys off the floor and getting more possessions. They're too good and too strong. So I just think that's the thing. That's the story. That's what happens now. I don't think, this is, by the way, I'm not lowering their ceiling. I'm just saying if they're going to reach their ceiling, this is what I think they have to be able to outdo. Because there are still plays like Cam Boozer, he had a Kevin Love outlet pass, right? A little rebound outlet to Isaiah Evans for the dunk. And I'm going that's an outlet pass you put on a highlight film. Like his vision, his handle, so much of the skill, it's still there. I just don't think he's a traditional big, because he's not. I actually kind of, side note from Duke, right? And they beat the number 24 team in the country by 12. So acknowledge that I'm saying this as can they win a national championship, not can they make the Elite Eight and Final Four. It's a high bar to jump over. But putting that aside for a second, I love how the story of multiple teams the last couple of years have had to do with big men. When the lineup of death in the Golden State Warriors, the whole thing was take the big man off the floor and let some 6'6" guy try to guard bigger than his size. I was like, oh, you're not going to do away with the big guys completely, right? I feel like we've come back around to now you do need size again. You do need, one of those rim protectors, rim runners. If they can shoot the three, great, don't get me wrong. But basketball is starting to feel like the basketball I grew up with again. And nostalgically, old man yelling at clouds, I kind of like that. And the craziest part about all this, now going back to Duke, is they are a gigantic team on average. The shortest person in their rotation is Caden Boozer at 6'4", and he plays bigger than 6'4" because he's strong as an ox. So that they are, top to bottom, a very, very tall team. They just don't have 7'2". They have 6'11" as kind of their high water mark.
Like you said, even do you play big?
Yes.
That's the question. Yeah, you can be all right. 6'11", 6'11" ain't short. You have the size, but do you play big?
It's explosively vertical is what they don't have. It's and again, there might only be a handful of teams in the country that it's even going to be noticeable against. But what was it, Fadunga? They had some dudes on Kansas that were affecting seemingly every shot at the bucket, and it didn't seem as difficult on the other end. And then Duke pulled away to win by 12. So, but without Darren Peterson. A lot of context in this one. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And now I know it's a track. Every game I'm going to be watching. I won't be able to stop. My brain works that way.
I just thinking ahead.
Yep.
The teams here in the Triangle, Duke the way they're built, Carolina the way they're built, State the way they're built. Styles make fights, right? They all have different. Their rosters are all built a little bit differently. Their styles of play are all a little bit different. It's going to be a lot of fun when these teams actually do face each other. Granted, in a couple months, but I'm looking forward to it already.
Personalities are very different as well.
Yeah.
Right? Personalities, coaches are very different. Coaching personalities are very different. Right? Oil and water don't mix. Well, obviously those colors don't mix, meaning they're team colors. And also, I think, this year, I think it's going to feel like 1988 or something like that around here. There's going to be a lot of really good college basketball in the Triangle. Not to say these teams don't have stuff to overcome, as we've been illustrating. They do, but I just think their personalities are going to find a way to overcome most of it, and eventually those unstoppable forces are going to meet those immovable objects, and we're going to be there with our popcorn. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 is coming up next. The Panthers finally took advantage of one of their biggest and best talents. We'll tell you who, we'll tell you how next.
The Black Friday sales event is on at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Right now, take advantage of over $11,000 off a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee or a new 2025 Jeep Grand L. We've got 11 to choose from, but when they're gone, they're gone. So don't wait to get your $11,000 off. Jeep, go anywhere, do anything. See dealer for details. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift. It lets them dream just for a bit.
Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats, holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discover Omega at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Whether it's the Speedmaster, Seamaster, or DeVille, these exquisite Swiss watches capture the joy of every moment. Celebrate time well spent. Visit Bailey's Fine Jewelry, where Raleigh shops for Omega.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Looking at partly cloudy skies for us this afternoon. Nice and warm, 73, a little breezy, but definitely a warm breeze. Overnight tonight, temperatures in the upper 40s will be partly cloudy. And a nice day tomorrow, partly cloudy, just a little cooler with highs in the mid-60s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 54 points to 46,145.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time for football at 4. I often use the analogy for athletes or teams like it's following a band throughout their career. And it's always cool to see a band that you knew when they were like passing out cassettes out of their trunk at a small venue, you know, get that moment, pop a number one hit. All of a sudden they're at the Grammys playing next to like a collaboration with Aretha Franklin. And you're just like, I remember when, right? Tetairoa McMillan just got his first number one hit, right? As Panther fans, we knew how good he was when he was getting 60 receiving yards on 4 catches, right? And an offense that threw for 130 in the game. We knew how good he was, even when, you know, there was a drop or two, right? Just the move to get open or the catches that didn't count, right? The one-handed diving catch early in the season where there was a defensive pass interference. So they got then they ruled it incomplete on the field, and it wasn't worth it to challenge to say it was a catch, even though it was, because you already got the ball at the spot of the foul because it was pass interference, or the crazy catch where his foot was out of bounds. Like, we were the group. We knew how good he was. We watched. We were telling our friends in another town, no, if they tour, you got to go. Here, listen to this. No, you don't get to keep the cassette. Just put it in your car, drive around, give it back to me tomorrow. Like, we were that guy. Then, against the Falcons, he, you know, popped off a bit, right? He had that number one hit. All of a sudden, he's on the radio. He's scheduling arena tours now. 8 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bryce Young was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And I'll say this about Bryce. Bryce's stats, crazy, right? And he's polarizing just because I said that. Just because I said, I'll say this about Bryce. Some of you are already angry. You're ready to fight. You don't even know which way I'm going with it. You're building up your defense. I'll give you time. Go ahead, build the shield. No, I'll say this about Bryce, and this is as a former quarterback. Quarterbacks get all the blame, get all the credit. Oftentimes, there's a lot of stuff other people are doing to make you look good or bad, and you have to kind of, get used to that. Bryce being NFC Offensive Player of the Week, a lot of that is attributed to Tetairoa McMillan and how they used Tetairoa McMillan. Now, that doesn't mean that, I don't know if that comes with a plaque or something, right? Like, Bryce will keep it at his house, right? Like he gets the hardware. But there's a lot of people that went into that award, and Tetairoa McMillan's one of them. And because they're getting that little bit of buzz, McMillan's no longer a secret. If you play fantasy football, I'm sure you see him climbing up all like the end-of-season rankings or rest-of-season rankings, whatever lists you look at. Here's what they did to blow up. Right? Here's what they did to take the sound that we liked in a garage band, and they linked up with the right producer, and all of a sudden it's all hitting. They varied his role, his routes, his position, his skill set. They let him show off everything. They let him play in the slot. They let him go out wide, left, right, run out-breaking routes, in-breaking routes, vertical routes. They let him use option routes, I'm sure. Like they let him do everything, which is part of the reason you draft that guy. There's a lot, I don't want to say a lot, because just to be in the NFL, you're like the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of athletes, right? But there are a bunch of guys in the NFL as wide receivers that can do something. Right? Think of NC State guy, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Right? Think of Wan'Dale Robinson. Do you know exactly in your head what they do? Right? Marquez Valdez-Scantling takes the top off. Right? He takes the safety with him. He runs downfield. Wan'Dale Robinson, what does he do? Well, he's probably running something within the 7 yards of the line of scrimmage, and he's working horizontally. There's a lot of guys that can do something. There's not a lot of guys that can do everything. Those guys are only as good as what you ask them to do. Think of the best, what does Jamar Chase do? What does CeeDee Lamb do? You could probably think of screens that they've taken 60 yards for touchdowns, deep balls that they've taken 60 yards for touchdowns, toe tap highlights, in-breaking highlights, run after the catch highlights. You can think of it all, right? Because they can do it all. They're asked to do it all. Now, put yourself in a defensive coordinator or a defensive player's shoes. You're guarding, I don't know why I'm calling Marquez Valdez-Scantling out. You're guarding Marquez Valdez-Scantling. What are you repeating to yourself when you're in your defensive stance? Don't let him get behind you. Don't let him get behind you. Don't let him get behind you. Don't let him get behind you.
He's fast.
When you're guarding like a true slot, you're thinking, stay in his hip pocket, right? Catch and tackle. Don't let him shake you. Catch and tackle. When you're guarding Jamar Chase, what are you saying? Oh, no. That's all you got because he can do it all.
Yeah, you're saying prayers at that point.
Tetairoa McMillan is that kind of guy. He's a different athlete, don't get me wrong. He's not running with the same, he's taller, he's bigger stride, whatever you want, but he can do it all. And the fact that was like the awakening, right? After that game, there's a clip going around. We may have even played it for you yesterday. There's a clip going around of Dave Canales in the post-game press conference explaining the different role that Tetairoa McMillan had. And it was basically like, if we can move him around, it's harder for the defense to guard him. And I'm going like, that's good. But it's not exactly reinventing the wheel, right? It's not exactly something new. There's this saying, the NFL is a copycat league. I think it expands to pretty much everything in sports. Sports is a copycat world, right? I can't tell you how many times in the last 10 years I've seen somebody run some variation of the Philly special trick play. Why? Because we all watched the Super Bowl and went, that one was cool. And now every team has some variation of it. Dennis just informed me we have the Canales audio. So listen to this, and then I'll explain the reaction I've seen from fans.
It happened organically, Joe, and I'm glad you asked because that's something that we try to bring to life weekly And again, as I've said before, we try to create a focal point of the pass game, knowing that T-Mac's going to get targeted in some way, shape, or form. When you create that, then you can kind of tilt the field a little bit and find other opportunities. And I was just fired up that we had the protection, first and foremost. It starts up front. They gave Bryce the time to get through his progressions to find different guys. There was a concerted effort to make sure that Xavier had some one-on-one opportunities, knowing we had a good matchup on that side. If AJ Terrell was going to follow T-Mac, we were going to have some opportunities over there, and Xavier made some plays for us. And then also the other part was making sure Jalen Coker doesn't come out of the game with a couple of targets. He made some fantastic catches yesterday, played really physical to the ball, contested passes, and was able to find some separation. So I was really pleased with the.
That is great. That is good. That is grand. I agree with it all. Again, it's not reinventing the wheel, right? The way you get center of attention wide receivers open is move them around, right? I was talking about it being a copycat league. That you have a number one, okay? Let's just establish that. You have wide receiver one, T-Mac, Tetairoa McMillan, whatever you want to call him. I saw some people calling him Yak Millen. Well, yards after catch Millen. Puns. Whatever you want to call him, you have a number one. Don't let it be organic. Let it be intentional. Go look at how other teams get their number ones open and put those plays into your playbook if you don't already have them, or translate them into the terminology you use and be ready to run them. Go watch whatever it was, 2021 Cooper Kupp with the Rams. Go watch last year's Puka Nacua with the Rams. Go watch what they used to do with name your, like, the Packers with Devontae Adams. Go watch. The blueprints are out there for you. No pun intended, but the blueprints are out there for you. He's that good. He is. He gets open. That's the hard part. Now you have the fun part. Right? The hard part is finding that dude. You drafted him. I'll even raise my hand, right? I don't pretend to have all the answers. I wasn't sold as maybe I should have been going into the draft on Tetairoa McMillan's ability. I think looking back, it was more the Arizona offense and maybe quarterback situation holding him back, but I didn't like his lack of consistency in college. It wasn't an every game thing. He would have a game with like 300 yards receiving and then a game with 40, and I didn't like that. And I watched it and I thought big strider, I'm not sitting here saying I had all the answers. But I am saying you did the hard part. You bettered me. You drafted him 8th overall. You were convicted in your belief in a wide receiver. Now do the fun part, the creative part. Go grab the index cards. I always use Andy Reid as the example there. Apparently Andy Reid has little 5x7 cards, like just straight index cards, the ones we all use, old school. Public speaking, you bring up the little index card. And he just, anytime he has an idea for a play, he diagrams it right there on the card, and then he puts all the cards together. And it's like a thing, right? If somebody else has an idea, hey, put it on a card. And then if he's ever stumped or he's excited in the offseason, he wants to come up with something, he just grabs a card and sees if it's anything. Like, that's the fun part. Go watch whatever you want to watch with a good receiver on film and make a whole bunch of index cards. Because from this point forward, I want Tetairoa McMillan a big part of every game plan. And if a team wants to go ahead and stop Tetairoa McMillan with safeties over the top no matter where he is, even though you're moving him around and you're sending him in motion and you're having him run every different kind of route, if they're just putting a ridiculous amount of resources into stopping him, cool. Fantastic. Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette, running game, tight ends, anybody. Like, that's the beauty of those guys. I'll use the in-state basketball example. When Steph Curry was at Davidson, and there was that one coach that decided Steph wasn't going to beat him, and he double-teamed him everywhere he went, so Steph went and stood at half court, and they put 2 guys out there with him, and then played 4-on-3 the rest of the game. Fantastic, right? That's using Steph Curry to get the win. If that's what they want to do, do it. But until they do, Tetairoa McMillan needs to be a ton of targets, big part of your offense. And if Bryce gets all the credit, Great, right? That's how it works because quarterbacks always do.
Like you said, using him in all bunch of different places. How many times have we talked about teams playing the Panthers where, oh, look at that, CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys last season playing in the slot, or Mike Evans, look at that, he's lining up in the slot, creating good matchups. It's not a foreign concept, like you said, but it's nice to see the Panthers actually using that.
Think of how simple it is when you play the Panthers to not have J.C. Horn guarding their number one. You just move him to the other side of the field.
Yeah.
The Panthers, I mean, at minimum, have to be able to do – wait, we keep putting Tetairoa over there, and they keep guarding him with their best guy. I want to try something here. Let's put him on the other side and just see. Let's just see what happens. Maybe we'll get him on their second-best corner, and I like that matchup. Oh, goodness. Genius. I'm making it more simple than it is. It is more complicated than that, but the basis of theory is right there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis Cox has something for you.
All right, folks. Dennis Cox here for Loan Pronto. What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. You can pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One phone call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, blind ranking time and what's wrong with the college football playoff rankings? A lot. Stick around.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Minnesota.
It's a flick to the shoot, score! And the captain with the net front again.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 9. Puck Drop at 9:30.
Hall in on Swayman. Hall waits, and he scores! Taylor Hall with the beauty.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
The McRib season gets even more magical when you pair it with any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.49. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Price and participation may vary.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
In on Swayman. Hall waits, and he scores! Taylor Hall with the beauty.
I just tried to get it to the middle of the ice and see what was there. I've been working on that push move a little bit, and it was a good move. I was kind of flying through the air as I scored, so it was fun.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Grooving. It's ranking season. There's a lot of seasons going on now. Apparently, it's players only meeting season. UNC basketball. It's football season. It's basketball season. It's hockey season. It's almost the holiday season. It's a lot of seasons going on.
Thanksgiving's next week.
Yeah, it's holiday season.
Week from tomorrow,
and we'll count it.
When does holiday season start? Halloween?
Yeah, it kind of never stops in my house. My wife's big into. We have decorations for some holiday up all the time.
Okay, that's fair.
We already decorated for Christmas. We have a tree up.
Really?
Yeah, think about that.
Too early.
Think about that.
Too early.
we have a fake tree that we bring out. We will eventually get a real tree for the opposite side of the same room.
Okay.
I
respect the real tree.
Oh yeah, but you see, you can't put a real tree up, the day after Halloween and expect it to make it all the way through the holiday season. So
no.
So the fake tree goes up pretty much the day after Halloween, and then the real tree comes in later at a more, like I said, it's pretty much always some holiday in our household. Either way, my point is a lot of seasons going on. One of them is ranking season, college football playoff rankings, AP polls, coaches polls, college basketball polls. It's ranking season, so it felt appropriate to hit a little blind ranking.
All right, for this week's blind ranking, Tim.
Yep.
So this is the way the blind ranking works. I'm going to give Tim, and first I'll give you the category that we're going to rank. Because we actually just got the latest college football playoff rankings. So it's a postseason, the college football playoff. So I'm going to give you 5 just postseasons. And you have to rank them, which is the best 1 through 5. So it might be something along the lines of World Series, NBA Final, could be, I don't know, the U.S. Open tennis tournament, something along some sort of playoff, some sort of postseason.
All right.
And you must rank them blindly.
Playoffs are all awesome. I'm just going to throw that out there. So this is degrees of awesome.
Yes. So again, I give Tim a playoff. He has to rank them somewhere 1 through 5 on the blind ranking list. He doesn't know the 5 categories I'm going to give him or the 5 playoffs I'm going to give him. So again, hence the term blind ranking. All right, the very first one, Tim, is the Stanley Cup.
That's pretty good. That's a heater to start.
Mm-hmm.
The intensity of a hockey playoff game is unmatched. I'm going to go 2.
2?
2. With the idea being that I have at least one above it that I'd be very mad if it doesn't hit, but there's not many more than one above it. Hockey playoffs are awesome. Don't get me wrong. And you know what I like? I like series.
Okay.
I just it feels more like you're getting a true winner rather than like a one fluke game. Even though, we've seen in hockey plenty of times the better team doesn't always win a series.
True.
But it's still, you feel like it's a little bit more.
All right, the next one is the U.S. Open Golf Playoff, the 18 holes on Monday. It's not guaranteed every year.
No, but when it happens, it's awesome. Obviously, everybody thinks about Tiger and Rocco Mediate back in whatever that was, 08, 09.
No other tournament does this, if I remember correctly.
The full 18, I like traditions. I like when things are a bit quirky.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue is 18 holes is a long time to watch 2 golfers. You take for granted when you're watching a golf tournament that you could not miss a single shot of Tiger back in the day or Rory or whoever your guy is now. But while they're walking from shot to shot, you can go watch, they cut to a bunch of other shots. You know what I mean? You're always seeing something. Those 18 hole, just 2 guys or 3 guys, it takes a long time. So I'll go U.S. Open 5, and that's coming from a golf nerd, but the U.S. Open 18-hole playoff is going to be 5.
Okay, so you have the Stanley Cup Finals, Stanley Cup playoffs at number 2. You have the U.S. Open 18-hole playoff, if we do have one, as number 5, leaving 1, 3, and 4 available. The next one is the NFL playoffs.
3. NFL playoffs 3.
Okay.
I love the NFL playoffs. Oh, my phone thinks I'm talking to it.
Okay.
I love the NFL playoffs. There are a few key things that I hate about the NFL playoffs. I don't know why there's 2 weeks off between the conference championships and the Super Bowl. It just makes it feel like it's an island, disconnected to the rest of the to the rest of the season, I guess. There's a few things I don't like. So 3 is there because watching an NFL playoff game is awesome, but I think I'm like trained watching football because you have a billion games every Sunday. That those last few take a long time to get done, and I'm like, come on, let's go, let's play another. And so I don't like some of the things.
All right, so you have the Stanley Cup playoffs at number 2. You have at number 5 the U.S. Open playoff in golf. You also have at number 3 the NFL playoffs. So you have number 1 and number 4 available. Next one on this list, the college football playoff.
I'll go 4.
4? Okay.
I wish I had 5. It's not a playoff. It's not like playoff. I feel like Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Yeah.
Like, let's break down the origins. It's play combined with off. So you're supposed to play off to find who wins the deal. But to get to 12, they just kind of choose. It's kind of a choose-off playoff. They choose at first and then finally get to playing some games. I don't like the exclusive nature. I have a feeling I'll have some thoughts on it after this. So buckle up, everybody.
Okay.
I'm having problems with the college football playoff. I'm going full Seinfeld. I've got some problems with you people.
All right, so you have number 1 available. So, again, you have U.S. Open playoff at number 5. First one I gave you was Stanley Cup. You said 2. Then the NFL playoffs 3. You also have the college football playoff at 4. Number 1 goes to...
I'm very nervous here. I feel vulnerable.
The NCAA tournament, March Madness.
Oh, I'm there. That's the one I was hoping for. If I would have had to put anything else above Stanley Cup playoffs, I'd have been very upset. But March Madness, you can't top it. The only thing that I want to advocate for is not going to like 96 teams. But as long as they keep it relatively close to 64 teams, it's perfect. It's chaotic enough. It's usually one of the best teams wins. It's rare that we don't see one of the top 7 or 8 teams win. It is Cinderella. Like, it's the only because of the way it's structured, so many teams involved. You get everything every year. You do. Like, there's NFL playoffs where you never get like a game-winning play. You never get like the touchdown to expire as the clock expires. You're going to get buzzer beaters every year in March Madness. There's, there are maybe NHL playoffs where you only get 1 or 2 game 7s. Every game in March Madness is a game 7. Like, it's the best of everything mixed together.
There are a lot of different options I pondered in my head. I was considering things along the lines of, for example, like Olympic basketball medal round, which is a playoff. You also look at, the World Cup round of 16.
World Cup is cool.
World Cup is cool. So, yeah, World Cup, same thing. So there are a lot of different options out there in terms of different quote-unquote playoffs or postseasons.
Yeah, the hard part is, like, let me think of like the I don't know, Kentucky Derby or something is awesome if you have like a like a down to the wire finish.
Sure.
Name it the college football playoff. Like, I'm not sure I've ever had more fun watching a sport than like USC Texas in 06. But
the old BCS days.
But you need a great game, right?
True.
March Madness, they play like 1,000 games. I'm getting 10 classics. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting a few great games. I'm getting a few star-making performances. Like, it's so gigantic that you're guaranteed.
So why do you hate the college football playoff right now?
Let's talk about why I hate the college football playoff.
You were a little angry when I brought that one up.
I am. I don't want to. I have the solution, though, right? Not just problems guy. I have the solution. We need to rename it. The way they operate the college football playoff right now, it shouldn't even have been eligible for that blind ranking we just did. It's not a playoff. We need to change it from college football playoff to college football invitational. And you just invite the 12 teams that you want to invite, and you play football. And it's not about earning it. It's not about who's more deserved. It's not about any of that because they're not looking for that anyway. They just want to invite teams that they think are the best and play. And that's not what a playoff is. A playoff is you earned your way in. You won games. Everybody was judged the same way. In my ideal world, and I don't even know if this is possible, but in my ideal world, do you know how we would judge the college football playoff? How the committee would operate? The committee would watch no football. They would be like sequestered. They would be quarantined to somewhere, and we'd keep their internet and television options to no football, and they would be presented resumes, wins, losses, every analytic they could possibly ask for, but they wouldn't get team names and they wouldn't get conference affiliations. They would get Team A, Team B, Team C, and they would make the decision there because it's obvious there is bias in the room. Obvious there's bias in the room. And I'm not even blaming the people, although I do think they could have been better prepared. I'm not blaming the people because they put inherently biased people in there. They put people with affiliated, people that are employed by certain universities are in the room. So Hunter Yurachek is the new chair, and he was the one that had to explain the latest rankings. And when I tell you, on its surface, it was a horrendous idea. I have two tweets here from Nicole Auerbach yesterday. She covers college football for ESPN. She was part of the journalists group covering the rankings yesterday. College football playoff chair Hunter Yurachek says that Oregon is still getting credit for beating Penn State, even though the Nittany Lions fell off after that game. Okay, that's a tweet justifying why Oregon is where they are in the college football playoff ranking. And if you are wondering where is Oregon, they are safely within the group that, if it ended today, would be in the playoff at 7. Now, that tweet came at 8:19. Nicole tweeted out at 8:20. College football playoff chair Hunter Yurachek says that it hurts Virginia that Louisville fell out of the rankings, and that was one of their best wins. So to be clear, Oregon beat Penn State when they were ranked and people thought they were good. Now, even though Penn State has since lost a bunch of bad games and fired their coach and everything got ugly, they're still getting credit as if they beat a good Penn State team because, well, the committee decided to count it that way. And then talking about Virginia, a team from a less favored conference, they beat Louisville when they were in the rankings, and everybody thought they were good. Since then, Louisville has lost some games and fallen out of favor, and Virginia is being penalized for that. That is the exact opposite logic. That is, I really like Oregon because they play in the north. And I really don't like Minnesota because they play in the north. It's like the exact same logic, just being treated differently for two teams. Utah makes absolutely no sense sitting at 12. Bad non-conference schedule, no good wins. The only win they have over a ranked team is Arizona State, and Arizona State didn't have their quarterback at the time. Yet Utah is 12. How do we not think it might be because Utah's athletic director is on the group? Miami versus Notre Dame makes no sense. Makes absolutely none. Right now, Miami's 13th, Notre Dame, 9th. Their resumes could not be closer. Could not. They're both 8-2. Miami has 3 wins over teams that were top 25 ranked. Notre Dame has 2 wins over teams that were top 25 ranked. They played against each other, and Miami won. Yet Notre Dame is 9th, and Miami is 13th. And the justification from the chair was they weren't close enough for us to even compare head-to-head. We have the audio for you. Listen to this.
I think when you look, Reese, at Notre Dame and Miami, we really compare the losses of those two teams. Miami has lost to two unranked teams. Notre Dame has lost to two teams that are ranked in our top 13. And so we really haven't compared those two teams. They haven't been in similar comparative pools to date. But Miami is creeping up into that range where they will be compared to Notre Dame if something happens above them.
How in the ever-loving world do you talk about Miami and Notre Dame and not bring up that they played each other? How in the ever-loving world do you say they haven't been close enough for us to consider comparing them when one is 9th and one is 13th, and you are aware that based on automatic inclusions from conference champions, it's 10 or 11. That's the cutoff. 10 or 11 is the cutoff for where you're in the playoff or not. And you haven't considered comparing 9 and 13, knowing one is one of the last teams in and one is one of the first teams out? Horrendous. It's not a playoff. Stop calling it that. It's an invitational. It's a we choose who we want and we bring it in, and we're going to try to find a way to justify it for you in an interview, but we're not even particularly good at that. And it's also the disrespect to us. If you're going to just pick your 12, spend some time in the room making sure you have a good answer for each. You can bend resumes however you want. Just don't sit there and go, well, the number 7 team is it because of this, and the number 9 team is not it because of that, and they're the same logic just against each other. Opposite logic, I should say. All right, I need to be cheered up. How about we do a little first goal scorer prediction to cheer us up? Canes play tonight against Minnesota. And I want to know who you think is going to score the first goal of the game. Heister Automotive Group hotline is open for you right here on 99.9 The Fan. Call in 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326 with who you think is going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period. 919-860-5326. Hopefully we don't have to wait into the early morning hours, or it doesn't feel like it, the late hours. It's a 9:30 puck drop in Minnesota. So it could get a little late on us, but hopefully not. Hopefully it's like 9:32. The Canes have already scored. But you have to make those predictions. 919-860-5326. While Dennis lines up those callers, I'll give you the locked-in predictions for our 99.9 The Fan personalities. Paul, host of Next Up with Paul Ihander every morning, weekday mornings here on 99.9 The Fan. He has Andrei Svechnikov in the first. Tight angle shot. Max, the producer of Next Up, has Robinson in the first. I asked him for details. He said it'll be a nice play by Taylor Hall, which has been a good bet recently. Adam Goldshow, you know him. Stankoven in the first. He says it's in the last minute of the first. His producer, Victoria, also went with Stankoven independently. They were not aware of each other's choice. She went with Stankoven as well in the first 10 minutes of the first period. We'll get to Dennis and I after we hear from some callers. We'll start with Brian in Holly Springs. Brian, welcome to the show. Go ahead and give us your first goal scorer prediction.
Thank you. I'm going to go with Taylor Hall. He's hot. He's going to be in the first period. It's going to be scrappy in front of the goal, in front of the net.
Scrappy in front of the net from Taylor Hall. He had obviously a highlight one last game. So I'm with it. Good luck to you, Brian. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go to Randy and Creedmoor up next. Randy, welcome to the show. The floor is yours. Go ahead and make your prediction.
Yeah, I'd say it would definitely going to have to be Aho on a breakaway. A turnover. It's going to be on a breakaway. He's definitely going to sing it past the building.
Where does the confidence come from? You said it's definitely got to be Aho?
Oh, I just no doubt. So he's hot. It's going to be him. It's no doubt it's going to be Aho. You can count it. Put it in the books.
All right. I appreciate the call, and good luck to you. And
have a good one. Go Canes.
Go Canes. And our final caller, Andy in Charlotte. We have Andy on the line. Andy, welcome to the show. Go ahead and make your prediction.
Hey, Tim. I'm going with my favorite player in the Canes as of late, since we signed him on nice long term. I'm buying his jersey this year. That's Jackson Blake. I think it's going to start off slow, so maybe give me Blake in the second, and it's a feed from another great player this year, Mr. Ehlers.
Feed from Ehlers. I mean, that line is buzzing. I'm a big fan of that line. So, Andy, we appreciate it. It's a good choice. I think that Blake jersey will appreciate in at least buzz. So appreciate it, and good luck to you.
Yeah, that's one you're going to wear for a long time.
Yep. And do you know what's really nice to hear?
What's that?
He started describing them, and there was like 4 names it could have been.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, guy we signed up long term. Like, okay, Ehlers, Stankoven, Blake.
Yeah.
Aho.
Miller.
Miller.
There are a lot of guys that it could have been. But it was Blake in the second. Dennis, we need your first goal score prediction.
I thought long and hard about this one, and by long and hard, I mean about 2 seconds. Give me Seth Jarvis shorthanded.
Ooh, you know the rules.
Seth Jarvis shorthanded in the box. Keandre Miller for tripping.
There is also somebody on Twitter that has Miller in the box, and for tripping specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
Miller for tripping. Did you say first period?
I did.
Okay. Tripping. There we go. Write it down. It is locked in. No changing. If you listen to this show enough, you know I love a good narrative. I almost, and this hat tip to another Twitter member, Kara, pointed out that it is Keandre's hometown, so perhaps he's going to be hunting for a goal. She picked him in the first, in the last 5 minutes of the first period.
Nice.
But that's not the way I'm going. I'm going Nystrom in the first, baby.
Oh, getting that first one.
Career goal.
I like it.
And here's how it breaks down for me. He played a pretty darn complete game last game, right? Did a lot of things really, really well. Didn't get the goal. Kind of everything but the goal. So I'm hoping that the hockey gods look down on that favorably. And he'll get a cheapie, right? He'll just be chipping it in. He'll just be trying to get pucks on net, right? Just, hey, here's a little slappy, just something cheap, and it's going to trickle on in, right? It's like you play a great game nearly the entire game, don't get a goal, and then early in this one, it's just like a little bop, goal, hey, look at that. Kind of like Miller's first goal in way back at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little chop it in there, gets the goal.
So we also have from Big Q, 1999 on our YouTube live chat, says Aho in the first period.
Love it.
On the power play, which is interesting. Canes still right now second worst power play in the league overall in the season. Minnesota, fourth worst penalty kill of any team in the entire season. Something's got to give. We also have a few people. Tom said Blake in the first period. Well, we also have one from BID. BID said first goal scorer is actually be Ehlers from Blake. We also have Boris says Svech in the second period. We also have a Gostisbehere in the first period. Big bomb from the blue line.
I don't hate that at all.
I don't either. He's been playing so well last couple games.
Yeah, another guy who, if he scores one a game for the next 5, I'd be like, yeah, it tracks. He's playing well. Oh, where did it go? I just had it here. Oh, there it is. Gary is the one who you are on the same page with. Jarvis gets a shorthanded goal in the first period. Miller in the box for tripping. That is literally what Gary said.
Let's go, Gary.
4 hours ago.
Okay, if that happens, Gary,
you and Gary got to get
I'll
together.
get in touch with you. I'll send you a stack of my own personal comic book selection.
There you go. Blake is having a moment with the fan base. Not only did the caller say they were going to buy the jersey, Twitter R selfies says Blake 8 minutes into the first period off a turnover he forces. Chris Jackson Blake first goal, Stankoven assist first period. Even Chance has Ehlers on the goal, but Blake gets an assist. There's a lot of Blake love. He's having a moment. D in Virginia Beach says Jackson Blake in the first 5 minutes of the game. He's even strength. AB says Blake power move to the net in the first. There's, in addition to Ehlers, Jarvis, Aho, like those guys are always popular, there is a lot of Blake love.
I mean, Jackson Blake grew up in Minnesota, grew up in the Minneapolis area, so that's nothing to be surprised about. A young man going home,
and he
just like Miller.
He has the ability to kind of decide to get good looks, right? When he wants them, he's got some pretty good stick handling skills. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, and thank you to everybody that sends in first goal scorers. If you want to continue sending them on Twitter, at Donnelly Sports, I have a tweet out there asking for it. You can reply to, or you can just jump in our YouTube live stream, comments and keep them in there. As long as they're timestamped before puck drop, we'll give you credit. Right? We'll give you the praise and braggadociousness that you so deserve by getting it right. But it's got to be timestamped before the game. None of this, the goal was just scored, and then I get a notification saying you're predicting the first goal score prediction. I've caught some of you trying to do that. I'm on it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. It is that time of year. We talked about how it's holiday season. Well, you don't want to wait till the last minute, especially if you're thinking of, really knocking the socks off of someone in your life with a luxury timepiece from Bailey's Fine Jewelry and the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. You may not know, and heck, I was definitely this way. When I started getting into watches and timepieces, I didn't know everything I didn't know. You don't want to walk in there going, I think I'm going to get somebody a watch. You want to go in there with, do you want a dive watch? Something like a Blancpain 50 Fathoms, the granddaddy of all modern dive watches. Do you want a chronograph? Something like an Omega Speedmaster, maybe the most iconic watch face out there because they wear them on the moon. Do you want to get them something with a little dressier? Maybe a Cartier, pre-owned or vintage from the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. Do you want to splurge and get some kind of super ultra rare pre-owned or vintage Rollie? Get the Rolex. There's a lot of options there. The good news is Fox and Bailey and Bailey's Fine Jewelry have experts that can help you understand everything that you're buying, everything that you're looking for, everything that you want. Right? You can really mark the passage of time with some timepieces. If you have something to celebrate this holiday season, Bailey's Fine Jewelry can help you do so with the Rolex, the Blancpain, the Norcane, the Hamilton, the Omega, the Glashütte Original. You name it. There's a good chance they got it, which is good because they're everybody likes something different on their wrist. When you stop in Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, make sure they know you heard about it right here from me, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with Hurricanes and Cons. What are we most confident about? What are we most concerned about when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes? Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Brady and Belichick missed the playoffs once in Tom Brady's first season as a full-time starter. This is too deep into this run to miss the playoffs. They got destroyed in the Super Bowl. They don't look dominant on offense. Denver is significantly better. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I do not want to hear about this Chiefs dynasty in the same sentence as the Patriots dynasty.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Hey, it's Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan. You know, I love Thanksgiving, and there's no better place to take care of that meal than with my friends at the Butcher's Market. My favorite location knows me as soon as I walk in. I head on in there, check out that fresh meat case, then roll to the refrigerator case for some homemade pasta salad and mashed potatoes. Family dinner, Thanksgiving dinner done in one stop. The Butcher's Market with 5 convenient Triangle locations. Trust them to make your Thanksgiving meal a winner. Do me a favor, check them out at thebutchersmarkets.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Carrier pulls his way to the front of the net. Stalls hammers it home, and we're tied. Oh, that line deserved it, and they cash in. The captain gets us even at 3.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is a hockey night in Carolina. Carolina Hurricanes at Minnesota tonight, 9:30 Eastern Time puck drop, which means 9 o'clock Storm Watch. I know what was it, like 7 or 8 consecutive games, the Canes had a 7 o'clock puck drop. So you might be a little conditioned to think, I'm going to tune in at 6:30. I'm going to hear Adam. He's going to get me ready, and then I'm going to be ready for the game at 7. A little later. Just throw the old brakes on that one. Don't be alarmed. Be back at 9 p.m. and there'll still be Storm Watch, and they'll still have you ready for puck drop. It'll just be at 9:30. You can hear it here on 99.9 The Fan. You can also hear it on our 99.9 The Fan app. It is a radio-only broadcast for Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy. So if you want to hear those guys, and I know you do, right here, 99.9 The Fan.
I know. It's Canes After Dark. We're back.
Well, the thing is, 7 o'clock is also after dark this time.
But you know what I mean by after dark.
Year.
Come on now.
I get so disheartened walking out of here after the show and it's pitch black.
It's only going to keep getting darker for the next 6 weeks.
I know. I like it when we walk out, we still have 3 hours of sunlight. But that's mostly a me problem. So let's go ahead and jump into Hurricanes and Cons.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
Confidence. Cons and Cons. It's a very simple game. Hurricanes and Cons. Very simple game. You have to pick one thing that you are most concerned about and one thing that you are most confident about. Cons and Cons about the Carolina Hurricanes. As always, we have good news and bad news. Which do you want first? You take the bad news first. So we start with the concerns. Dennis, why don't you go ahead and lead off?
My concern, this is an overall thing for the team. It's actually face-offs.
Any specific type?
All of them.
Okay.
Yes, the losing variety. That's my concern. Unfortunately for this team, as a whole, they're at 49.6%, but when we actually look at their regular centers, the only guys that are actually above 50% on the season, Jordan Stahl, which makes sense, he's at 57.3. Mark Jankowski's at 57.1. But Sebastian Aho is at 47.4%. Jesperi Kotkaniemi is at 47%. Logan Stankoven is at 41.4%. What does this team always prided itself on? Puck possession. And Rob Brind'Amour has always emphasized puck possession. It all starts from winning faceoffs. Especially, this is like my concern specifically when it comes to that second line with Stankoven, Blake, and Ehlers, is that they get a lot of offensive zone faceoffs because of Stankoven's struggles in the faceoff dot. You don't want him losing defensive zone faceoffs because that obviously leads to scoring chances potentially for the other team. So if you're constantly in a state of having to chase the puck to start your shift, you're not going to get as many scoring opportunities, which is still impressive that line is still creating chances in and of itself. But you have to be able to win faceoffs at least above 50% on a consistent basis. That's my concern when it comes to the Canes right now, is that.
That is one of the things, because I'm sure you and I read a bunch of the same blogs. We check a bunch of the same analytics websites. It's one of those things I go into every game thinking, I want to track the faceoffs. I know they're not doing this, that, and it's not good enough in this situation, and especially one on the power play. They need to win the faceoffs. And then it's like halfway through the third period, and I'm like, I have not been paying attention to enough if they've been winning faceoffs. So I don't know if I'm concerned about it or I'm just naive and ignorant to it. But I'll try to follow again tonight. It'll be late, though. I don't know if I'll be as sharp as I normally am. My concern, I'm realizing I'm being really selfish today. I'm like, I wanted to stay later. I'm just yelling out things I want. This is much less to do with the team and much more to do with just my enjoyment of watching the team. I'm concerned that I really like most of the guys. I really enjoy rooting for them. And I think a move is going to be coming at some point in this season. I don't know when, right? I don't know if they wait all the way to the deadline. I don't know if they try to make a move earlier. I don't know if it's for a goalie. I don't know. Obviously, center's still on the possibilities. Maybe a volume goal scorer. They have cap space. They have some things they could do. And I was, having a conversation today with somebody about the recent play. Let me ask you this. Would you be surprised if they have to include Nystrom to get a stud in a trade?
No, not at all.
Exactly. And I really like Nystrom.
Yeah, he's doing great.
And you start thinking about that, and it's like there have been, and I'm not going to name names because that would just be mean, but over the last, 5 years, there have been guys where I'm like, you're a good player. I think you mean a lot to the team. But if they traded you, you know, you're just not one of my guys, right? I talk about golfers like this, right? If you're a big golf fan, you don't root for them all, right? You root for 6. And maybe you have a friend of one of them, or one of them grew up near you, but the others are just guys you like watching, right? There's no real connection. You're just like, hey, that's one of my guys. I really like so many of the players on the Canes. I like their hustle. I like their willingness to do the little things. If some of them get traded, I'm going to be bummed, and I'm concerned that it might happen. If 1 or 2 or 3 of them, you know, you got to give to get, you know what I mean? And I think if you're big game hunting, you might have to give up something of value. Let's get to the more fun part. Confidence. Dennis, what are you most confident in when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes?
This is actually gives me even more confidence, because this is actually one of my things that I spoke about beginning of the season. My confidence is their fourth line. Just the simple fact that you can get scoring and get such great matchups with your fourth line against opposing teams' fourth lines. You're getting that quality of a matchup every time. It's not a coincidence that Taylor Hall has been successful this season. We've also seen Jankowski and Jesperi Kotkaniemi chip in with points. And Eric Robinson, who missed games, has 5 goals this year already. It was a tremendous find. They have the speed and the size and can play with physicality and just skill that other teams' fourth lines just simply can't match.
I mean, there's an MVP down there. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just that simple.
And Kotkaniemi was a 3rd overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
And Robinson, heck of a find by that front office.
I wonder, and this is just me like questioning with no insider information, I wonder if Robinson wasn't a analytics find.
Oh, absolutely.
Where it was one of those things where, you know, maybe the hockey guys in the facility were like, it's a fourth liner. Like, sure, if you tell me the calculator says he's good, and then they showed up and they're like, goodness gracious, the calculator, they know a little bit about what they're talking about. For value on contract and everything, he's been really, really good. My confidence is that they're this good, and I don't think they've hit near their highest gear.
Great point.
They are 13-5-1. Identical records with New Jersey atop the Eastern Conference. Obviously, they beat New Jersey, so they're just a hair above with the tiebreaker.
Yeah, take that.
And I still look at it and go, like, the top line hasn't gotten going. Blue line, even though individually they have, I don't think they've been together as a unit gotten going. The blue line has been ridiculously injured. You know, it took them a while to figure out, I think, but they did figure it out. The second line kind of hitting their stride. Overall, I mean, let's not forget, some of their best players are notoriously slow starters. So it's like if you're top of the East and you're dealing with everything you're dealing with, I feel greedy, but I think there's 2 or 3 more levels this team can get to. That's got to induce confidence, right? That just has to. Right? If your B plus game is where you are now, keep striving for that A plus game. You know what I mean? Just imagine. It'd be one thing if they were like, because you see it. Let me think. Based on the odds, right? Based on betting odds at the beginning of the year and even now still, like the Pittsburgh, the Islanders. These are teams that are in top 4 or 5 in the East. Were not picked to be there, and even like you look at like playoff odds, like to make the playoffs, they're still I think the Penguins are like plus 270 or something to make the playoffs, and they're in the top 5 in the conference. It's one thing if you're playing like above your level and you have a good record. It's another if you're watching a team going, I don't know if they hit their stride yet, and they have a really good record. That's got to be confidence inducing, right? So that's why I'm confident in the Canes. Hurricanes and cons. Wrap it up. If you have some hurricanes and cons, what are you most confident about, concerned about? You can always send them in. YouTube live stream comments, 99.9 The Fan. Subscribe while you're there, then head into the comments and let us know.
Big Q 1999 said most concerned about goalie play, most confident is actually about physicality.
Compliment the physicality. Mm-hmm. I think that's all relative. I think there are certain teams out there that are more physical, but compared to what we've gotten used to with this version of the Canes, they've been really physical. Which I respect. Any improvement in that category, I really like. Nikishin obviously bringing the thunder occasionally.
He's on pace for 215 hits. I think the Canes last year's leader in hits was like 102? Something like that?
I think I should take that occasionally out of the sentence I just said.
Yeah.
He is not bringing the thunder occasionally. He is bringing it often. And other guys are stepping up. You're seeing a more physical team. So I agree with the commenter there. With that being said, today's flying by. It's already 5 o'clock.
I know.
We have the starting five coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Move your sports day forward.
The harvest of the transfer portal and recruiting has proven dividends for all of the Triangle College basketball teams. And I'm also including NC Central in that conversation. I see you, Gage Lattimore. Is it sustainable for all of them? Right now, it's easy to recover from the stumbles, but you want to make sure you don't fall flat on your face.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Obviously, in the world of sports, we look at stats, we look at numbers. Well, here's a number for you. 42. 42 pounds. That's how much weight I've lost in just over 3 months thanks to the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. You want another statistic? That's over 15% of my body weight. 15% of my body weight gone in 3.5 months thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And if you have questions or concerns about Raleigh Weight Loss Center, visit them online at RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or give them a call, 919-897-7506, and set up a free 15-minute phone call. Raleigh Weight Loss Center has helped a bunch of people like myself lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of their body weight. I am living, breathing, walking proof that the program definitely can work. There's no shots, no injections, just your body doing the natural thing. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or 919-897-7506, 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
Bank of America is a nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. You'll need an extra layer tonight. Temperatures dip down into the mid-40s overnight. Thursday is partly cloudy and trending cooler with a high of 63. We're back up to 72 on Friday, but that will come with a chance for rain, especially early in the day.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 47 points today to 46,138.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thanks for hanging with us on a Wednesday. It is 5 o'clock, and that means it's time for the starting five. And as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What?
College football playoff rankings update yesterday. I can't say I'm surprised that I don't agree with the rankings. Right? I often don't agree with the rankings. The part that got me really, really, really angry, probably more so than it should, were the explanations. Right? Because the way this goes, the way it works, is the committee puts out the rankings, and then the committee chair, Hunter Yurachek, goes and speaks with Reese Davis on ESPN, and they explain the whole situation, right? And you can be asked questions, and you can explain, this is why this team is higher than this team, this is why that team is higher than that team. And the explanations were just horrendous. The reasons for Notre Dame being over Miami, despite having very, very, very similar resumes, don't add up with what I think are the correct ways to judge a team. If we are doing, let me just put this out there. If the whole point is, if these two teams were to play today, I think this team would be favored, then I just disagree with the entirety of the situation.
Because then you're letting Vegas decide.
You're letting Vegas, or even if it's like, if they played, this is who the committee would pick to win. This is who we think would win. Then why are we playing games? Right? The whole point is you don't play games in that way. You don't play sports in that way. You play them on a field. We've seen them go out. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters what they've done. Like, Miami and Notre Dame played each other. Miami won. They both have 8 wins. They both have 2 losses. Has Notre Dame lost to better teams? One of them being Miami? Yes. I just don't see why that matters. Hunter Yurachek, and I'll explain why I don't think it matters. But let's hear from College Football Playoff Committee Chair Hunter Yurachek on the head-to-head evaluations.
Well, I think you look at what happened this week when we compared Alabama and Oklahoma in a similar spot where 8, 9, and 10, where we were comparing those teams. Oklahoma obviously got the nod based on their 2-point win at Oklahoma. So if Miami and Notre Dame are in a comparable tier, comparable range, the head-to-head will be a significant data point that we will use.
To be clear, he just said Oklahoma and Alabama head-to-head is close enough, like they're close enough to use head-to-head as a data point. Oklahoma's 8th, Alabama is 10th. He said Notre Dame and Miami are not close enough to use head-to-head as a data point. Notre Dame is 9th, Miami is 13th. That is mighty convenient. With one team between them, oh, that's definitely close enough. 3 teams between them, they might as well be on different planets. Oh, who cares who they played? Yuck. No. Absolutely not. If they played, that's the point of a playoff. To let them play it off, to let them go play. They played. Miami was better. Well, we don't think they would be better. No, they played. We know who was better. I'm tired of all, I understand we comprehend more about sports now because we have analytics and we can say, well, this team actually outplayed them. There is one way to judge sports. Scoreboard. Now, I understand it gets complicated when you have teams that haven't played each other, right? You have to judge BYU against Tennessee. I don't think they played. You have to judge James Madison against Tulane for the group of 5. I understand that's difficult, but if they played, we're done here. Now, here's why I don't think who we think would win should matter. That's opinion. Do you know how often the best sports gamblers in the world are correct?
55% of the time?
If you are lights out, you're 56.2. Nobody knows how sports will go. Nobody knows how sports will go. So you can't make decisions on thinking we know how sports will go. The only thing you can do is look at what has happened, because we know what has happened. Not to mention, that's the whole basis of it. If they want to come out and say, no, we're just trying to pick the teams that we think will win, I will just say, all right, that is your criteria. That is a bad way to do it, but we'll have to accept it. They still pretend like the games matter. All right, 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
It's Smothers now runs up into a tackle, bounces off of it, sprints over the 40. Watch out, breaks free 30, pulls away 20, and he's gone. Hollywood Smothers inside the 10, and it is a 59-yard Hollywood Smothers rip.
I desperately hope that NC State and or Virginia are in the mix for a CFP spot next year, so we can hear the committee chair go, well, they did have that big win, but it was in Brazil, so we don't care about it. Because you know they'll use that against the ACC. I did bury the lead on that. NC State and Virginia next year will be playing a college football game in Brazil. Pac Pride was first on it. They had their sources. Shout out to Corey Smith. First I saw it. NC State, Virginia in Brazil. I think it's really cool for the players. I think it's unique. I think it's an experience. I think you take the swing. Now, right, I'm seeing some people upset about it right now. Virginia's given up a home game. You only get so many in your career. And I get it, I guess. But you can try it once. If it's awesome, try to do it again. Try a different location. If it stinks, go, oh, we tried something, it didn't work. But be forward thinking, right? I've never, they do the Ireland game, right? The Ireland game, week 0. I haven't heard anyone crying foul for like Florida State and Georgia Tech last year or whatever it was.
Yeah, no TCU, they're complaining about being in Ireland next year when they got to play Carolina.
No, I think it's the more unique experiences you can give college athletes, the better. I always think about how you're going to remember it. And NC State at Virginia. Unless it is an all-time classic game, right? Unless it's like 6 overtimes. When those Virginia players look back, or NC State players look back on it 10 years, 20 years into the future, that's just going to be like, oh, remember that was that my sophomore year or my senior year? No, we were in their stadium. Who was the quarterback? Meanwhile, now, remember when we played them in Brazil? That one stands. That's its own unique memory. There's a really good podcast from Malcolm Gladwell, right? One of the, I don't know, it's called Revisionist Histories, the podcast. There's an episode on memory about how you make the years seem long and how you keep your memory so you can like really pinpoint things. It's all about just trying new things, right? Think about it. People say, when you're a kid, it felt like every year was so long. Now they fly by. It's because you were doing a lot of new things as a kid. First time you ever went to your buddy's house. First time you ever played a football game. First time you ever did this. First time you ever watched that movie. Now what do? You wake up, you go to the same job, you go home, you watch the same shows over again. You eat the same foods because you know how to cook them. Yeah, days go by faster, right? Play the same game against the same team in the same conference in the same stadium. Oh no, we're going to Brazil. Well, memory's going to remember that one. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Rebound chased down by Wilson. Doesn't have the numbers. The freshman going to go anyway. And holy smokes, he just sunk their battleship with that one.
What a pun. Playing against Navy, a big dunk, sunk their battleship.
Well done, Jones Angel. Tar Heel Radio Network.
I didn't catch that earlier. That's funny. UNC did beat Navy. They were heavily favored, and they took care of business, won by 12. But there was a late run. Navy went on a 15-0 run late. I think they finished on like a 17-3 or 17-4 run. And because of that, the players were a little late getting to media after the game, and it turns out there was a players-only meeting. Jaron Stevenson, one of their new transfers from Alabama, told the media that it was Seth Trimble, one of the vets. that called the players-only meeting. Here's Hubert Davis, the head coach, on his thoughts on the team calling the players-only meeting.
Well, I mean, that's great that they're, communicating and talking amongst themselves. And you're right, I think we had a 24-point lead. We went on a 15-0 run, and then down the stretch 17-3. And so was disappointed in how we finished the game. I felt like just the sustained energy in the first half wasn't there, but I thought we picked it up in the second half and we were playing well, and just unfortunate that we didn't finish the game better than the way that we did.
Now I'll tell you my thoughts on the actual players only meeting, but quick kind of funny story. When I was in high school, it was college or high school football. My coach tried to manufacture the players only meeting. You can't do that as a coach, just so you know. We lost a game that we shouldn't lose. The next day, or that wasn't the next day, it would have been Monday. We got together for a walkthrough and film. And then in the middle of film, our head coach stood up and told us, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to walk out of this room. I'm going to take a walk around the school, and you're going to be in here with no adults and no coaches. And I hope the leadership, I hope some leaders step forward and have some things to say. And then he left. And we were sitting there I don't think you can force a players-only meeting, coach. I think the players have to call the players-only meeting. And at that time, I was not a senior or captain or anything in that. We didn't have the leadership. So we pretty much just sat there and waited for him to come back. Probably shows why we lost the game that we lost. UNC, Seth Trimble calling the players-only meeting, I think it's good leadership. I think it's him, you have to trust that he knows his team, right? Because part of me goes, was it really necessary? 5 games into the year, you're undefeated, you're already going players-only meeting before media? Couldn't wait till after, you gave your coach speaky answers? But you have to trust that he knows his team. And here's kind of maybe the bigger picture thought. You do have to kind of cram maybe a 2 or 3 year window into 1 year now. With the transfer portal and with guys coming and going every offseason, and it's basically free agency every offseason, maybe if this were 2002, you'd wait till near the end of the year to have this players-only meeting about urgency and closing games out, and then you'd see the benefits next year or the year after, right? And eventually the culture would be imparted, and you'd take every game all the way to the wire, and you'd win a championship. But you can't wait anymore. You kind of got to pack it all into one season. So 5 games in, maybe this is what used to be 25 games in for a 3-year window. 5 games in is now that equivalent into a 1-year window. So I give Seth Trimble a lot of credit if he truly was the one spearheading it, and if there were other leaders involved, I give him all credit. Hopefully they said the right thing, they pushed the right buttons, pulled the right strings, and they'll come out on the other side of it better. From a basketball standpoint, Caleb Wilson is a beast. That dunk you just heard, not a lot of people in college basketball pulling that one off. Another double-double, another 20 and 10. I think it was after one of their exhibitions. He was quoted, Caleb Wilson, saying, 20 and 10 is when I feel like I've done something. If I leave a game and I have at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, I feel like, okay, I played. I did something. That's such a high bar, but then you look at the first 5 games, I think he's done it 4 times. It's you know what? All right, maybe, makes sense. You. A couple other guys had some good games as well. Not just him, but he's special. That's number 3. How about number 2?
Just the 2 of us. Cross court, wide open Sarr. In the left corner, Canada 3. Boozer, the offensive rebound, goes back up. Counted! And he's fouled! Showing off the power inside, and he's got a free throw coming as well.
Duke beat Kansas. A couple of ranked teams in Madison Square Garden. It did lose a bit of its, national luster when Darren Peterson was ruled out with I think it's a hamstring injury. Maybe the best guard in the country, maybe the most talented guard in the country. One of the leading favorites to be next year's number 1 overall NBA draft pick. So Kansas didn't have one of their dudes. But they still gave Duke a run, right? It was close. I know it ended up being a double-digit win, but this was one that Kansas landed some punches. It was not a sweep, if you will. For thoughts after the game, here's the head coach of Duke, John Shire, on the win over Kansas.
Really proud of our win tonight. I thought, that it was the epitome of our team a little bit. The fact that all 9 guys scored, but all 9 guys made big contributions. A ton of respect for Kansas, their program, Coach Self. We knew, unfortunately, obviously Peterson being out changes their team, of course. But you also know that those other guys are going to step up. And I thought the game that White had, Council, it's what we thought. They put a ton of pressure on us.
It's a good win. It's a good win. I said it earlier. They're going to have to, if they want to win a national championship, who wants that? If they want that, I think there is a specific thing that they're missing it right now. And it's just a super vertically playing big. And I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. Hopefully you can understand my description. They don't have a 7-footer. They have a 6'11" Patrick Gongba. But for whatever reason, when he plays, he's very good. Don't get me wrong. It's not a criticism of him, but it's more a style play rather than quality of play observation. They don't have the guy that plays above the rim consistently. And I'm not saying they can't dunk. They have a lot of guys that can dunk. But they don't have a Derek Lively, a Kaman Malawash, a Mark Williams, some of the guys that they've had recently who feel like they play in a air above everybody else. Cam Boozer's really, really good. Really, really good. Does a lot of really, really good things. He had a lot of shots impacted down low against Kansas. A lot of tipped shots, and he had to put ridiculous English on it to get it up above the rim. He's not shooting a high percentage from within arm's distance of the rim based on how powerful he is. That being said, all those vertical players, right? Those rim protectors are gonna have to hit the weight room to compete with Duke. I'd be very surprised if there's a team that has, especially down low, as much bench press ability as Duke. Some of their perimeter players, the Dame Sars, the Isaiah Evans, are kind of, rail thin. But the Boozers, Gongba, they've got some girth. They got some power. I'm just wondering if they need to get vertical a little bit more. But still, good win. You beat Kansas. I mean, what are we doing nitpicking a win over Kansas in Madison Square Garden? It's pretty good move. That's number 2. Let's hit number 1.
Go one! Out of the box, into the glove of Kochetkov.
I love that save. There aren't a lot of goaltenders right now in the NHL. In yesteryear, yes, but they would stay on his feet.
That's the voice of Mike Maniscalco. You can hear the Canes playing tonight with Mike Maniscalco on the call, along with Trip Tracy, obviously. Our guys. They'll be right here on 99.9 The Fan. 9:30 puck drop as they take on Minnesota. We have a clip for you from Rod Brindamore talking about the young star players in the NHL also being penalty killers. Here's what Rod had to say.
I don't know when exactly kind of the mindset shifted, but it's your best guys should be good penalty killers. I mean, what you just said, if they're willing to just, once in a while get in front of a puck or whatever, you're going to get your opportunities. And so why wouldn't you want some of your top guys to be out there to cash in? And I think that's part of it. But what you said, they have to have a willingness to kill the penalty. It's not you're out there free for all. And no, you have, buy into what we're doing, and then we'll give you this. And every player I've ever met wants to be on the ice. Yeah. So every situation.
That's that. I mean, it's all true. That's also so Rod Brindamore. It's seeing young guys want to do the dirty work is music to his ears.
Well, because you have started to see the trend because the reporter was asked, hey, you see a guy like Matthew Boldy, who's one of the top young scorers in the NHL, plays for Minnesota, who also happens to be a penalty killer. You're starting to see some of these young up-and-coming star players being on that side of the ice or in those situations where back in the day it used to be fourth liners and grunt work. Those are the guys who are out there killing penalties. All right, go out there and eat some pucks and then dump the puck out, and then we'll let the guys that can skate really well go out there and do all the stuff at 5-on-5. You're not seeing that anymore.
I mean, it makes guys like Aho a little less rare, but no less valuable. You know what I mean? And also, if we're being real, the skills that make you good at hockey, like if you're an elite, just great hockey player, are also the skills that make you a really great power play guy and a really great penalty kill guy. There's overlap there, right? And they're a little different, but if you're just truly elite 5-on-5, then you're probably pretty darn good at the special teams as well from a skill set standpoint. Dennis, I had to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Canes, Minnesota tonight. If-then statement. If blank happens, then the Canes on game number 2 of a 4-game road trip get the win over the Wild.
If they score on the power play.
Okay.
They score on the power play.
Because Minnesota does not have a very good penalty kill.
They don't. They're 4th worst in the league, and the Canes are 2nd worst in power play. So give me if they score on the power play, they win it tonight.
So I'm going to build off of a conversation we had yesterday for if-then. Their game to open the road trip, the Bruins game, it felt very much like a depth game, right? You got unusual goal scorers, right? If you would have placed a 3-leg parlay, anytime goal scorer on Stahl, Hall, and Jankowski, probably would have got a nice little payout, right? I don't know what the odds would have been, but you'd be eating good this weekend on your winnings. I want a top line game, right? I don't want a top 2-line game. I want to, let me think of how many goals. I want 3 goals between the top 2 lines. If they do that, I think they win, and it could be all 3 goals. But you got 6 pretty good skaters. You got 6 pretty good scorers. I don't care who. I don't care how. I want 3 goals from the top 2 lines. After, you got your 4th line goals and your Stahl line goal. Last game, now it's appreciate it. You helped us get the win against Boston. We'll power our way to the win in Minnesota is the way I'm looking at it. Freddie is expected to be in net, I believe. So you want him to get back on track as well. I know that some people weren't exactly stoked with some of his recent play, but goalies have to ride that wave, right? Goalies, pitchers, cornerbacks, quarterbacks. You got to have amnesia, right? The last play can't affect anything about the next play. So Freddie's been doing it a long time. I think he'll roll in at least in the right headspace. And then one more update. I know yesterday we were optimistic because Jalen Chatfield was at practice skating, and especially on a road trip when a guy just pops up at practice, it feels very like, oh, he must be playing, because why would they send him out there and why would he be skating on the road? So we were optimistic for it. He's been missing the last few games since took a hard hit up high, took a headshot. But he is not drawing into the lineup today. So I expect to see the same group, Riley and Nystrom, both in there, along with the regulars outside of Slavin and obviously Chatfield. So no Chatfield tonight, although can't be far away. What's Rod's term? Around the corner on it?
Yeah, around the corner. By the way, that hit came against Minnesota, by the way.
Maybe there was a little extra burst to try to get ready for that one. That's right. The Western Conference teams that just pop up randomly close together, I'm always like, oh, yeah, we did play them recently, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems so rare that they shouldn't, like, you should play them now and then you should play them, like, in January. But it happened once earlier this year as well.
Vegas.
Yeah, that's exactly who it was. It was Vegas. And it just like, I shouldn't know you this well. Like, I just got to know about you. Now you're playing again a couple weeks later. I shouldn't understand what I'm seeing as well as I am. Either way, Canes tonight, 9:30 p.m. Puck drop, 9 o'clock Storm Watch right here on 99.9 The Fan. You have our if-then statements. Hopefully, they both come true. Now we need some numbers game contestants. Hopefully, you can win some numbers games and get yourself a 4-pack of tickets to the Festival of Lights coming to DBAP. That's Durham Bulls Athletic Park. Some serious holiday magic. An immersive light experience the whole family will love. Meet Santa. Meet Woolly Claus. Hop on the Holiday Express. You can even cozy up in a festive igloo with s'mores and holiday drinks. Call 919-860-5326 to play the numbers game and potentially win yourself a family 4-pack of tickets to the Festival of Lights. If you call in and you win, you get the 4-pack. If you want another way to win, Visit 999thefan.com to enter for a chance to win the grand prize, a private igloo. That's at 999thefan.com, as well as the 999thefan app. Numbers game is coming up, though, so call in now to play. Number to call, 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Minnesota.
It's a flick to the shoot, score! And the captain with the net front again.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 9. Puck drop at 9:30.
Hall in on Swayman. Hall waits, and he scores! Taylor Hall with the beauty.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey everybody, Tim Donnelly here from 99.9 The Fan at the Salvation Army of Wake County with their Social Services Director, Amma. One of the things I love about just the energy here is it's not sad. There's playgrounds, there's kids playing, there's excitement.
So there is a reason why people come to Salvation Army. Sometimes when families, they've been through a lot. As social service director, we know what families have been through. We see it every day. So when they come up here, it is our job to lessen the joke. We have a big playground there. When families come here, we open it up for the kids to go and play outside. So when families come up here, the first thing we do, seeing the children, is sometimes too, those kids have not even been in school. It is our job to make sure that the kids are registered in school. Then we work with Wake County to assign them bus. We work on housing. How are we going to house the family that present to us?
Please text GIVE to 919-860-5326 to donate now, or go to teamuptogive.com to donate.
This is the sound of Claire cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Malik in Raleigh. We have Mike and Carrie on the line. They'll be the contestants for today. The prize, Festival of Lights tickets, a family 4-pack. Good old-fashioned holiday magic. As always, we'll bring them each onto the show, ask them an identical question, the same question. Dennis will listen to both answers. He'll get to pick his favorite. That person will get to go first. We will start with Malik in Raleigh. Malik, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, the question for today is, right, Festival of Lights, holiday magic. Everybody's excited about the holiday season. Yesterday we asked what's the best Christmas movie. Today we ask what's the best holiday song. What is the best holiday song of all time?
I'm going to say Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas.
All right, you want to sing it for us?
No, definitely not.
Just because I don't know it that well, and I would understand it better if you maybe hit a couple high notes. No, I'm kidding. All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey. Dennis, any follow-ups?
None.
All right. Mike and Carrie, you are up next. Same question to you. We're giving away a holiday prize. So, holiday songs. What is the best holiday song of all time?
It's going to have to be Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Dennis, any follow-ups?
None.
All right. We appreciate it. You're both locked in. Dennis, you get to pick out of those two. All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey, or Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
The correct answer we were looking for is Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
That's your one seed? That's your one?
That is my absolute number one. But I have to go with Mariah Carey because as soon as you hear that, you know it's time.
To some people,
you know it's time.
Some people play that in July.
They do.
That is a...
they do.
I don't know. Maybe it's everybody. I think my age group especially, like our age group, our generation is all in on that song. So Malik gets to go first. Mike, don't worry. You will have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second. Malik, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
All right. We have NFL Andrews coming. All players with Andrew in their name somewhere. NFL players that played at state universities that are not states. NBA players, all European teams, so they're all from Europe. Or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
I guess I'll go with the Andrews.
Okay, the Andrews coming. These are all NFL players with Andrew in their name somewhere. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Mark Andrews, Baltimore Ravens.
Pass.
Andy Dalton, Carolina Panthers.
10.
Incorrect. Andrew Luck, Indianapolis Colts.
12.
Correct. Andrew Whitworth, Los Angeles Rams.
21.
Incorrect. Mark Andrews, Baltimore Ravens.
89.
Correct. Andy Dalton, Carolina Panthers.
12.
Incorrect. Jake Andrews, Houston Texans.
87.
Incorrect. Andrew Whitworth, Los Angeles Rams.
85. I have no clue who that is.
Andrew Whitworth, if you watch the Thursday night football games on Amazon, he's the big guy that's the commentator now. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams. How many did you get there? You got two? Two. All right. Yeah. You got Andy Dalton and Andrew Luck. Or, sorry, you got Mark Andrews and Andrew Luck. Andy Dalton, we were looking for 14. Andrew Whitworth, we were looking for double sevens, 77. And Jake Andrews with the Texans, 60 or 67. But you did get two. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line, and we'll come back to you if you win. That means Mike and Carrie is up next. Mike, are you ready to pick a category? Mike, are you there? Mike and Carrie.
Sorry. NBA Euro players.
Okay, came right off of having us muted with the category chosen. All Euros, NBA players. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right, you need at least 3 for the win, and your time will start when you hear the horn. Quinton Post, Golden State Warriors.
Pass.
Tyrese Proctor, Cleveland Cavaliers.
42.
Incorrect. Isaiah Hartenstein, Oklahoma City Thunder.
42.
Incorrect. Quinton Post, Golden State Warriors.
32.
Incorrect. Tyrese Proctor, Cleveland Cavaliers.
5.
Incorrect. Isaiah Hartenstein, Oklahoma City Thunder.
8. No, Proctor's 5 when he played at Duke.
I was thinking that. We weren't looking for the Duke number. We're looking for the Cavs number.
Yeah.
He wears 24 with the Cavs. Quinton Post.
I was trying to get lucky with some good players I had, but good job, Malik.
All right, there you go. Appreciate
Another dub.
Appreciate the hospitality and the humility, I guess I should say, in defeat. Quinton Post, for those of you playing at home, Golden State 21, Hartenstein with the Thunder 55, and as I mentioned, Proctor 24 with the Cavs. Malik, that means you are the winner. Congratulations. This is your song. This goes out to you, Malik.
Sorry. Hello. Thank you.
You guys are big into muting us today. There you go. There it is. All right, sing along, Malik. Yeah.
Christmas. That's all I got.
I was going to let you keep going. Malik, thank you for being a good sport. Congratulations on the win. Stay on the line so Dennis can grab the info he needs for your prize.
All right, appreciate you.
I love a good sport right there.
I appreciate it. Lean into it.
As soon as he hit the falsetto, I was like, "Oh, we're going." I'm laying out and letting him take it as long as he wants to go. Oh man. And by the way, this is a numbers game thing that I've been meaning to pass along. If you get it wrong and you feel like I'm cutting you off, don't get rattled. I'm all about getting you as many chances at guesses as possible. So as soon as, like, if it's 21 and you're 32 and I'm like, incorrect, on to the next. It's don't get rattled and think, oh gosh, he's doing something there. It is all just to make sure that you get as many chances at the right answer as possible. I am on everybody's team. I want double perfect scores every time. But sometimes I sense people getting a little rattled when I'm kind of jumping to the next question. But it's just a speed thing. I'm competitive and I'm not even playing. So that's all that is. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of competitive, now, get ready for this transition because there's no easy way to make the connection I'm going to try to make. Bill Belichick was seen at a competitive cheerleading event over the weekend. Like that? You like that little transition, that segue? So Bill Belichick was seen at a competitive cheerleading event, and it turns out that his girlfriend, the much ballyhooed, highly talked about relationship, Jordan Hudson, is on an adult co-ed cheerleading team, and Bill Belichick was there cheering her on. Cheering on the cheering squad.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of jokes made. I think I have to push back. I think here's the deal. If you think it's strange, weird, whatever, that there's a relationship with a 49-year age gap, which is what that is, okay, that's a different beast than what I think we're talking about right now. That can be the weird part, but if you're dating somebody, you care about them, and they have found a hobby that means something to them, you go on a Sunday to support them if you can find the time with a busy job schedule to go support them. Like, this might be one of those things where it's like, I think everybody got so comfortable pointing out everything about their relationship that's strange or comical or whatever, that this happened and everybody went right to it. I'm kind of going like, actually, no. I think this is what the move should be. That's just being a good significant other. And that comes from somebody. I don't even know if I should admit this. Early in my career, I was in Nebraska, right? Mm-hmm. Paying my dues, small market radio, being on air as often as I possibly could. My now wife, at the time, my girlfriend, was finishing grad school in Maryland. So we were doing the long distance thing. She came out to visit probably for a weekend, and she came to my men's league basketball game. I was probably 22, 23 years old. Probably could have missed a game that weekend and done something that would have been more fun for her. But she was there supporting me, playing against other, has been athletes in men's league basketball. I think it's just what you do when you're supporting your partner and they have a hobby.
Yeah, my fiance comes to my beer league hockey games sometimes.
Exactly.
When they're not 10:45 at night.
Yeah, well then,
like tonight.
Then if she wants to not go to the 10:45,
100% get a pass.
I don't know. That's lack of support. That's lack of
hey, go to bed.
Time in the day. But yeah, and also credit to Jordan Hudson. I mean, you might think it like that's an adult hobby that she finds joy in. Go for it, right? Whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of things I think you can point at and go like, that's a little off. This is one of the more normal things.
Yeah.
She's found an adult hobby that makes her excited, and he is her boyfriend. Again, the rest of it, we're not addressing that right now. This is good for you guys. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. A little open and shut conversation there. So let's get to something more important, like saving you all money on your mortgage. Right? And now I got your ears perked up. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Listen, no closing cost loan. No closing costs, no third-party fees, no surcharges, nothing rolled into your loan amount, right? Nothing changes unless you choose that it changes, but no closing costs. Miller Lending offers a no closing cost mortgage. If that doesn't get your interest peaked, I don't know what does. Because I bought a couple houses, sold a couple houses, and that's an extra gut punch that you don't want. All those closing costs and fees that you need to come up with. You've already budgeted, and I'll just speak from experience, and I've talked with people about that. It seems like we all have the same experience. When you're buying a house, you come in with a budget. Usually the coolest houses are like just a hair above your budget. It's like, how does spending just, 3% over my budget get me 7 more bedrooms, a pool, and acreage? That's where the cutoff is, but it feels that way, right? And maybe you did some math. You figured you could put in some extra hours. All right, let's spend a little more. Then you get the closing costs. It's just an extra gut punch, right? Well, not with Miller Lending, right? Nothing rolled over into your loan amount. It is just closing costs aren't there. Again, if you're interested, get ready. I'm about to give you a phone number that you're going to want to remember. You're going to want to call. Miller Lending, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll be back with a deeper dive into the conversation surrounding a college football game in a country where they would call it a college American football game. Stick around.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
The Black Friday sales event is on at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Right now, you could get 0% financing for 60 months on a new 2026 Ram 1500. Or even better, 0% for 72 months on a new 2025 Ram 1500. Or take advantage of 20% off any new Ram 1500 in stock. See dealer for details. In other words, it is time to get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Hey, it's Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan. You know, I love Thanksgiving, and there's no better place to take care of that meal than with my friends at the Butcher's Market. My favorite location knows me as soon as I walk in. I head on in there, check out that fresh meat case, then roll to the refrigerator case for some homemade pasta salad and mashed potatoes. Family dinner, Thanksgiving dinner done in one stop. The Butcher's Market, with 5 convenient Triangle locations. Trust them to make your Thanksgiving meal a winner. Do me a favor, check them out at thebutchersmarkets.com.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like Akoya Pearl Studs starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift-giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I usually stay away, or I try to. Sometimes you can't help it. And I think one of those moments might be happening. I try to stay away from the big overarching discussions about like society. This is what's wrong with people today, because I don't know. I'm not that kind of anthropologist, right? But there are certain things you notice, particularly in your industry, right? And obviously my industry being sports media includes social media and everything else. So you do notice some things. And one thing I'll tell you about society today, people love to be angry. They love to find things to be angry about. Right? You could walk outside on a nice summer's day, look up above your head, and just say something like "Sky's blue." Somebody's gonna be yelling at you. They'll find something to be mad about. Where I am, it's cloudy. Why would you taunt me with blue skies? Oh. I'm at work, and my office doesn't have windows. Why would you talk about that? It's all right, goodness. And you know how? And I had that realization today because earlier today, Corey Smith, Pack Pride, friend of the show, tweeted out. There's a football tweet, right? NC State and Virginia are set to play a game in Brazil in 2026, according to Pack Pride sources. It will count as an ACC contest, with the two teams playing their first ever game in Brazil and the first international game for both teams. And somehow, people heard college athletes, free trip to Brazil to experience the culture, to experience another country, to play a game in a cool venue. And they thought, let me get angry about it. Let me go be furious. Keep in mind, these people, very few of them, NC State or Virginia fans. They're like being mad from a distance just because they want to be mad. What are we doing here? Why are we doing it? Why are you angry? What in the world makes you think it's anything other than awesome? Well, I'll even put this out there. What in the world makes you think it's anything other than awesome for the players? Because, if you remember, and I don't know if you all listen that closely, so I'll remind you, there are two things I think that should govern everything in college sports. And the number one thing is what's best for the student athletes. Number two is make sure it's fair. That's it. If you start with those two core building blocks, I think you'll be good. And I don't think there's an inherent advantage given to either team, NC State or Virginia, by playing in Brazil. And I think it's pretty darn cool for the student athletes. Beyond that, why does anybody care? Unless you're a fan of one of those teams and you were, really excited to get another game in Charlottesville because you have family nearby or something. I just don't get it. I don't know why you'd be upset by it.
I mean, you take a home game away for one of the teams when you go play in Charlotte at Bank of America for the Duke's Mayo kickoff, or you see the Chick-fil-A kickoff in Atlanta every year. It's a neutral site game.
I mean, it's a cooler site game.
Yeah.
I'll use a Division III example for you. I was at ESPN Ithaca earlier in my career, Ithaca, New York.
Yeah.
And Ithaca College and SUNY Cortland, Division III football, they took one of their games. They call it the Cortica game. Play for the Cortica Jug. It's a rivalry game.
Oh, yeah.
They played it in Giant Stadium. They played it in MetLife. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't hear anybody go, yeah, but that one didn't get to be on SUNY Cortland's campus, because they were like, how awesome is this? We get to go play in an NFL stadium. That's how it should be for this. It's just cool. Now, we can even take it one step further. I know this because I went to the University of Delaware. You know what we invented?
What's that?
I don't know how we invented it, but we claim it. It's on brochures and things.
Okay.
Study abroad.
Yeah.
Apparently, we originated it. We were the Blue Hens were the first. So because of that, we had meaning our school had a super extensive study abroad program. everywhere in the world. They'd pass out the brochures, and you could look, and it would be pages and pages of options and programs and different trips. And do you know what, as student athletes, what we had to do? Flip through it,
right past it,
close it, and go back to practice. Right? We never could go.
Likewise, I couldn't go.
We couldn't go. So my guess is, if you're playing in the ACC, that's also true, right? The coaches aren't like, yeah, miss spring ball this year. Go do a semester in Rome, right? No, you're locked in. You're on scholarship, right? They control you. So consider this a mini little cultural experience, right? Just make sure you get a meal with an authentic Brazilian restaurant or something. Like, go experience Brazil and play a football game. I used to see this, and you may say, they wouldn't do that. It's a game week. I used to see this all the time. Grew up in Hawaii, right? The opposing teams that would come play in Hawaii they'd go to the luau. They'd get the lei around their neck. They would do it because you're in Hawaii, especially if it was a non-conference game, right? Now, if you're playing on Saturday, about Thursday night, right, you get yourself out of the sun, you start eating food that you know isn't going to mess with your stomach, and you lock in. But you get out there Tuesday, you get out there, you can experience some culture. You can broaden your horizons a little bit. Brazil, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know who's never been to Brazil? Most people I know.
Yeah.
You get to check that off the bucket list. A whole other continent, right? You can go. That's a cool experience. The fact that people were mad about it. I saw like national pundits, good afternoon to every AD who didn't send their team to Brazil. Ha ha ha. I'm like, what is going on here? And by the way, maybe maybe it'll go poorly, right? Because I think you brought it up earlier. Is there even a thirst for college football in Brazil? Maybe they play in a big, cool stadium and nobody's there to watch because it's empty, and they're like, we don't even, is this Universidad? American football? Maybe they're confused. All right, don't do it again. That doesn't mean never try anything because it might go poorly. Give it a go. And just one more thing. Right? I saw an angry tweet about, you only get 24 home games and you're going to give one up to play in Brazil. I got a, like social media sends you memories, like time hops or whatever. Today, I got a memory. You know what it was? My sister-in-law, who was the sister of my girlfriend at the time, posted pictures November 19th, 13 years ago from my senior game. The game was played 2 days prior to her posting the pictures. So it was November 17th. My college football season was over. Regular season was done. The college football calendar now goes to the end of November, right? At the time, you used to play 11 games. Now you play 12. A lot of times you get an extra bye. So if you take away a home game that they get now, you still get 3 more than we used to get just 13 years ago because you get an extra game every year. Our season was over before Thanksgiving, regular season. That's things change. Things change, Mox. Shout out to Varsity Blues.
It's no different than NC State basketball is about to go play in Maui.
Yes. It's cool. I get very mad when people just want to be mad, which is probably not helping the situation, right? Because I'm taking one unnecessarily mad person and it's turning into 2 unnecessarily mad people because I'm mad at their unnecessary anger. Either way, on that note, we'll get back to talking about the sports. We have Overdrive coming up next. The drive coming to a close. We're starting off talking about UNC basketball. Their win last night over Navy and the team-only meeting that followed. Canes late night, 9:30 puck drop, 9 o'clock Storm Watch. Be here for it on 99.9 The Fan. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan. The ACC, the SEC, the biggest matchups will be found here.
Placement down, kick is up, and Texas A&M has climbed the mountain. They trailed 30-3 at halftime. They lead South Carolina 31
41-30. College football on the Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up